Alright, I'll be honest. I don't have a witty intro. Let's just begin, because we have so much to do, and so little time to do. Now, if you're wondering why I'm playing this again on a Saturday, when I just played it on Thursday, is because I don't really want to interrupt Saturdays for this game. That's kind of when I advertise I'll play it. And I need to stop playing it outside of Saturdays, because that's exactly how I never end up playing anything else. So, it is what it is. I need to also stop taking, like, midday naps, but I just get tired. I eat too much, and then I lay down, and then I sleep for, like, 3 hours, and then, by the time you know it, it's already midnight, and then the day's over, and then I have to fucking do shit at midnight, and then I go to sleep again. So, I mean, it's not a very productive cycle, now is it? But, whatever, it is what it is. Let's keep going down the list of, like, number you caught while they're sleeping. Is there a place we could reliably find Vulpix? Maybe. Magby. There's only one place you could even find Magby and Magmar, so, like, I'm trying to look, like, what other Pokemon can we realistically, like, find and complete? Like, Gligar could be good, right? We know where we could find a ton of Gligar, defeat with Ice Beam. Or not Ice Beam specifically, yeah. We have to defeat 40 of them, though. So, like, every time we fly out, we could defeat, like, what, 4 or 5, right? If we clean out everything in Coronet Highlands, right, we could maybe defeat 10 every time we fly out. Yeah, I'm thinking Gibble as well. We need to use Slash 37 times, use Twister 25 times. That's it. So if we just use Gibble and we just fight a bunch, we'll complete Gibble. Let's see. It was the first time I looked through most of this, like, late in the Pokedex stuff. I think that for the most part, we could do Sneasel, right? This will... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Was this Sneasel? Yeah. This is both, right? I think it counts Jotonian Sneasel, right? Yeah, here we go. This one is spiteful and personal. Hypothesize that water and earth can affect Sneasel's mind and body. Yeah, they affect... I think they have both, right? Yeah, they share. Okay, so we could do Sneasel. These are going to be such a pain in the fucking ass, man. That's just going to be actual camping to do that. And then we're already on to the legendaries. We need to do Riolu, though. Number of Riolu you defeated with a flying type move. Number you've evolved. Times you're stunned it with items. But I can't even get Riolu to show up. So we have to wait for another Riolu outbreak. And then I need to go run over there and defeat them with flying type moves. Which is basically just using Gallade, pretty much. Okay. Let's see. Riolu cannot spawn here. Yeah, so this is all kind of a waste, but I guess we could just warm up a little bit. You know, just stretch the muscle. Oh, man. I have to finish moving a bunch of fucking hard drives around. I'm almost done. I was, like, halfway starting it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I gotta go wait this out. Let me go lay down. I'm getting there. What was that, Bronzor? Yeah. Insanity, but I have tons of space now. Getting those two 18 terabytes to soak up everything, one of my best ideas, also one of my most expensive, without a doubt. But like I said, it's just growing pains. By the end of the year, it'll pass. So no problem there. Shit happens. Do we complete Yanma by any chance? We need to catch 20 in the evening. Oh, okay, we'll do that later. We need to defeat 2 more with rock types and see Ancient Power 38. Did I remove Ancient or rock types? Maybe. Let's see. Nope. Just need to defeat 1 more. Alright. We could do that anytime. I don't have to do that right now. even though we're like one away. And I would have liked to get it done and out the way, but you know how it is. Alright, thank you. Please run. I don't think I've ever seen this alpha'd. Oh, great. I caught it! Wow, that was a really low chance. That's how you know the triple smoke is not necessarily, like, a guaranteed fail. It's just very unlikely that you will catch it at that point. Yeah, like I said, the only thing here that could really, like, give me a shiny I want is Murkrow. Once we do that, I mean, like, the reason to ever do one of these kind of drops a little bit, you know? There's not really going to be much of a reason at that point. Because for the most part, it's like, okay. Oh, shit. Don't we have to do something with Ghastly again? Defeat with ghost types. Astonish, and then Evolve 3. Alright. Whoops. Can I switch? Thank you. I think this is set to evolve anyway, so it would be nice if I could catch it, but I'm not gonna, like, super bank on it. It's fine. It's like the second one that we've seen recently, so... I mean, the odds are there that even if you encounter a Pokemon, you know, like, someone somewhere is alpha on the world map, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Damn. Alright, whatever. It's fine. We have to kill another 2 Ghastly with ghost types, then we have to defeat... Ah, fucking Paris, really. Defeat another 2 Ghastly, and then what? Another 1 Yanma. Man, that shit really got that anti-air. Dude, a fucking Turtwig event? Are you serious? Dude, oh my god, all these items. Alright, let's just defeat the Grottle. We just have to use Leafage. It's the move usage, I think, that's definitely the worst. Absolutely. I think almost every move usage category could be cut. What? Another one? For real? That's actually funny. I don't even have to evolve it. Yeah, I think every move usage category could be cut down by 10, 15, or even in half, and it still would change nothing. Actually, someone brought up a good point. You know, they always talk about, like, that one, not Wheel of Fortune, what is it? That one Who Wants to Be a Millionaire question, where it's like, name the first Pokemon, and it's like, Rhydon, Arceus, Mew, and, Bulbasaur. Technically speaking, Rowlet now fulfills the answer to that question. Because Rowlet is technically the first Pokemon in any Pokedex ever completed, right? So, like, if Bulbasaur's at the start of the National Dex, as much as Game Freak likes to fucking butcher and murder it now, then, this is Bonsly again. Jeez. Then Rowlet actually fulfills that, because Rowlet was at the start of the Sinnoh Dex, right? And I might be forgetting, because I haven't played this game's story in months, right? Like, I beat this game's story back in fucking, like, March. Not even, right? Like, February, I want to say. Oh, that's a Honchkrow. Okay. Fucking a lot of nothing up here. But I'm pretty sure that this is the first Pokedex they ever undertook completing. I could be insanely wrong about this, but I'm reasonably certain that that's part of this game's story, and I'm not gonna remember it because it's just been too long. Technically, I should put unknown on the list of Pokemon that I have 100%ed. But that's a little bit cheating because to get unknown to 100%, all you have to do is fucking catch all unknown. And that's like such a basic bitch thing to do. Like, who the hell doesn't catch all unknown? Like, if you're playing to, like, complete anything, right? Because in the Diamond and Pearl, you get the unknown report, which lets you get that one room. I actually forget. I forget, actually. What do you get for getting the unknown report? Or was that... No, that's Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Damn, I don't remember what you get for it all the same. It's been too long. I did talking about shit I did over a decade ago. I forget. I genuinely don't remember. Alright. Down here. Trying to think, was it even in Platinum? Because it's so weird. Like, Gen 4 is the only game where every game Unknown was obtainable in. And then I don't even think it was until Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire where Unknown became obtainable again. Actually kind of tragic. Like, if you like Unknown, for whatever reason, right? Like, I know a lot of people say it's one of those filler Pokemon. But, like, not only did I always think it was cool that they had, like, this unknown, like, literally, like, this weird society of you know, like, and I guess I shouldn't say society, but this weird connection with everything. I think it's kind of interesting and fitting that, you know, Arceus and the legendary dogs all have, like, magical powers kind of based around it. Dude, what'd I tell you? Another fucking Ghastly. Another Alpha Ghastly. Times you've seen it use baby doll eyes, times you've given it food. Oh, well. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. And then he gets aggressive? Are you serious? It's kind of nuts, actually, that it happens in that exact order. I mean, we could just give it food. I think... The nice thing about giving food is it's just a nice way to clean out my inventory. Alright. After this, we do have to use a Yanma. We have to use Ancient Power 38 times and catch a bunch in the evening. Now, I don't know if this counts as the evening. It's nighttime, so that probably doesn't count, does it? Yeah, no. So we have to... We'll rewind time, I guess, in a minute. Let's go find some Ghastly, like right over here. We have to defeat it with a Ghost-type move. You have to evolve a bunch of them, right? Who? The Ursaring is on Super Patrol right now. Number you defeated with Grass-type moves. Do I have a Grass-type Pokemon? Damn, that Sudowoodo was level 79. Oh shit, we do have a Grass-type move. Alright, well, you're up. I don't need to do this in this game. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten an Alpha Sudowoodo like this. Alright, we'll use it. Bonk. I never use this move because it lowers your speed. Oh no, I'm sorry, it recoils you. Hammer Arm lowers your speed. I just never use it. Alright, so we're gonna get that Alpha Turtwig, and that's what we'll use, because that way we could use Leafage at the same time. So this is cool and all, but, you know. I don't even care about the damage from recoil, honestly. Miss. Look at that. 90% accuracy move feels like a 70% accuracy move. And then you go use Blizzard in Gen 1 and it never misses, even though it's a 90% accuracy move. That's why they had to nerf Blizzard. It's ridiculous. That shit is such a dragon killer. Is this thing still looking for me? Look at this thing. It's still looking for me. Dude, what is the range of your territory? Motherfucker is still looking for me. It's been like 5 minutes. Anyway. Alright, I won't fight anymore after this because I'm out of wood hammers. Trying to stay in cover back here. Just want to feed the Teddy Ursas, but this dude is fucking psychic and knows where I am at all times. Like, I'm not even around anymore, dude. What the hell are you doing? Dude, the food's gonna disappear. Yeah, I don't know why the game does that. Like, there will be food right next to a Pokemon. It has to do the animation of smelling it, turn around, and slowly approach it sometimes. And I don't understand why it does that, but that's how the game operates. I don't agree with it. Oh, shit. What is it, morning now? Can I get credit, please? No, they got alerted because of this fucker. Okay, that's fine. Uh-oh. Perfect. That was a killer fucking throw. Like, look at this. Why is he slow walking? The food literally does not last long enough for him to slow walk. Oh no, he got it. Sometimes it doesn't last long enough. Alright, I never have to do this again. Grab it. What? Man, the AI in this game just works in the dumbest ways. For real. Alright, good. We're good. Oh no, we have to do 10 times because they really like Teddy Ursa. Oh, isn't this great? I'm gonna run out of food. That's 6. Yeah, I'm gonna run out of food. I don't have enough food to feed them all. Whatever. Unless I want to feed them mud and springy mushrooms. Thank you. That's the hustle I like to see. I'm literally giving you fuckers free food. Now please keep eating. Alright, whatever. This is that next-gen high-level gameplay people love, man. We have to defeat 13 of them and catch a bunch of heavy specimens. You could tell that this one is bigger than the other ones. That's not heavy enough, apparently. No, it is. For some reason, the number of heavy specimens does not update. It does not have a pop-up in the top left, even if you do it. Which, again, makes absolutely no sense, but you know how this game operates by now. Apparently, I'm still surprised by stuff like that. So, you know, what do I know? Alright, at some point we will just have to catch a bunch of them. Maybe if we're lucky we'll get like an alpha outbreak, which would be really nice. Alright, anyway. There's like no Pokemon in this area at all. Other than what can leap out of an ore deposit. Like, there's no Pokemon in this area. I know it's like the arena where you fight Ursaluna. Do you even fight Ursaluna? Or do they just give you Ursaluna? I have no idea. I can't remember, but there's no Pokemon in that area. It's a dead zone for some reason. Okay, I want to see my Pokemon. I'll take you out. Spanish Rowlet. I'm gonna get so much use out of that. It's gonna be nuts. I'm gonna forget to even put it in Pokemon Sword. That's the crazy part. Like, I'll say this, and I genuinely mean it, and then I'll forget. And then one day I'll just forget, and then that'll be the day I never do it, basically. Alright, Ancient Power. Let's do Leafage, I guess. Since we're closer to completing this, right? We also, oh no, let me sleep as well. I don't really care about space-time distortion. Only thing you can get in this area is Porygon and Cyndaquil, neither of which I particularly want to see. I guess Cyndaquil technically would be a good one, but it would just be better to reset until you get a massive mass that has Cyndaquil, which is exactly why I'm not really like super concerned about maxing out Cyndaquil. I need to see you use Flame Wheel. Flame Wheel? Oh no, I don't even need to catch any more Cyndaquil. Yeah, I've caught enough. Strong Style and Agile Style for this, and then that's it. So we could do Cyndaquil and Quilava in the same stream. That would be incredibly easy. And then we just have to watch Typhlosion use Overheat, which I could just teach my Typhlosion Overheat right now. Just if I teach it, I'll probably remember it, is what I really am trying to say. So we'll just get rid of Mystical Fire for a little bit. Good. Oh, okay. Alright, let's go catch some Yanma. I don't know why they want us to catch Yanma in the evening. I guess... I don't know anything about dragonflies. You really don't see them where I live, so... Maybe on, like, a summer's, like, evening. I guess that's what it is, right? Which is ironic that this game that clearly features seasons as, like, the theme of its main legendary... Or not its main legendaries, but, like, its side legendaries just does not have any of that, you know? There you go. Number caught in the evening. Hold on. There it is. We need to catch 10 more. Ugh, you're fucking killing me, man. Luckily, you can definitely sneak up on Yanma. They're not super attentive, thankfully, right? Okay, shit. I gotta find a good place to land, though. I'm gonna release all these. I gotta release them right away, because otherwise I'm gonna forget. I just like how much Sinnoh had from Johto. It really was cool that, like, they tied them together. Dude, is evening already fucking over? Evening just started. Are you serious? I guess morning and evening don't really last that long in this game. All things considered, because it's not even like I was fucking around or anything. Yeah, it's gonna be nighttime in a few seconds. What time is it? Or rather, what moon phase is it? It's kind of crazy that moon phase is an actual thing in this game, and you can't even see it. Alright, well, it doesn't matter if they respawn. I have to go back. Like, moon phase is a real thing in this game, and, like, you can't even, like, see it by opening the menu. Right? Like, that moon icon is just by default. The irony of this, unfortunately, is that, like, the last game I played where moon phase really mattered, which I think was, like, Wind Waker, you can check the moon. Like, it's pretty obvious what moon phase it is. Man, Wind Waker is such a good fucking game. That's crazy. That's a 2003 game, and you could check the moon phase. And it's only necessary for, like, one or two things in the game. The ghost ship, which is mainly where it will spawn. And the hilariousness of it, and as I said probably when I played it originally, played it again in 2020 or 2016, is that the ghost ship, ironically, is like the most harmless thing in the game until you have the ghost ship chart. Like, you could like literally roll right up to the ghost ship, sail through it, and nothing happens. Wait. Look. Okay. This is the part where we do this, right? Okay, I just saved. That's a shiny. I could tell you right now, that's a shiny. You know how I know it's a shiny? Because I'm not stupid. I played this game forever, right? So now I've saved, right? Here's what I'm going to do. No, but this is not going to work, right? But this is for science, okay? When we have a shiny, right? So I'm going to roll forward. Obviously, that was a shiny, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the area, right? Because isn't this what I wanted to dummy test the whole time? Is that if you were to leave the area, would it refresh the spawns? And I think a while ago, I think before the first big patch for this game, I think the answer for that used to be no. And then I think they patched it, and now the answer is... So why am I doing this? I'll just fucking catch it. Of course it'll refresh the spawns. I mean, it would be nice to test, I guess, from some aspect. But I like how I spotted that shit from a mile away. Well, there's our shiny of the stream. It's another random shiny as well. No, stop this nonsense. There you go. Are we done, by the way? Yeah. Well, that was exactly it, I think. Yeah. No, we went over. That was one extra, but you know what? It's a shiny. It's fucking worth it. It's funny. We get a shiny right as we're trying to complete the dex entry for it. So, like, that kind of negates the whole thing. I was like, yeah, you need to do this. This will be great. And then I just start getting shinies left, right, and center. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just going to go on a limb and say that that's the case. I probably will never dummy test that. Not because I can't, because that's a perfect opportunity for me to test it. I just... Oh, shit. Oops, I need to change its moves. Excellent. It doesn't even know fucking leafage. Dude. And it moves twice? What are you... I'm like 10 levels above it, and it's doing 50% of my life bar. Dude, this game's damage calculations are so fucking... Oh, no. This game's damage calculations are so ass, dude. Like, seriously. Some asshole changed how the fucking numbers were calculated in this game, and it's absolutely absurd. Good lord. Alright. Gotta get the fuck out of here. Alright, let him forget about me. Come back. This fucking game, man. Hey, Raiden. Oh, no, not more Pokemons. Yeah, don't worry. I know. I take your criticism to heart because no one is more harsh on myself than me. I understand. However, I do want to try to do Pokemon on Saturday, mainly. I need to stop. Like, my thing is that, like, I just get tired. It's not even like I'm old or anything. Like, I'll do a lot of stuff in a day, and I will just be tired by the end of it. And then the fastest thing to do is just to play Pokemon, because it's non-committal. I could have a 1-hour stream, I could have a 10-hour stream, and they functionally are, like, almost the same thing, right? Wait, why am I sneaking around? Where the hell is Geodude, anyway? We need to see it use rollout 15 times. We need to evolve it. And then we just have to open ore deposits. We don't have to fight it out of the ore deposits. That's how silly it is. But anyway, I hope things are going well for you. Tomorrow is 14 because that's my day to catch up. I just have to... It's not even a sleep management thing, because I'll sleep for fucking 12 hours, and then by the end of the day, I'm just done. It's awful. Reminds me back when I was first in high school, and I would sleep as soon as I got home after doing my homework. Shit. And I would just wake up, like, super early, just so I could play, like, Call of Duty and shit. And I'm totally cool mentioning this now, because now it doesn't even matter. Who gives a shit? No, great. You see how all this bullshit happened because I pushed the wrong button. Thank you. Alright. So now all we have to do is ore deposits. As far as Turtwig is concerned... we have to use this 22 more times. So I guess what we could do while we just chill around here, and we already have our shiny of the stream, I could just do whatever. Yeah, I'm crafting in 1418. I got my switch back for my bro, so I might finish Xenoblade and Handhold. I'm gonna play some Mario Kart online. Yo, I saw the Mario Kart shit. I kind of want to get it, but like, if I'm gonna get stuff, like, I can't like buy a ton of DLC, right? So like, I'll buy a couple of things when I get around to it eventually. What else do we need to do for Ghastly? I wish I could make a checklist. Ghastly gotta be early. Right? Ghastly. 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 It has to be early. Where the hell is it? Here it is. It's actually below. Number defeat with ghost type moves. Let's stop and defeat this one. Yeah, I gotta finish my crafting. The thing is, I stopped, like, my crafting friend has been really busy, and I haven't talked to them in a while. Like, if I was talking to them, I'd be like, yeah, I need to complete it. But yeah, I've been doing my weeklies, you know, like, it shouldn't take me a year to max out my crafters, but here we are, right? Especially since now we have well, no, we don't have the crafting beast tribes. I mean, in fairness, once the beast tribes for crafters come out, it's really easy to level crafters. Like, absolutely absurdly easy. But I'm almost there. Crafters are the only class I have left. Like, I'll admit, I probably will never, ever level Fisher normally. I will just wait for the beast tribe that gives you Fisher and call it a day at that point. Buy the DLC pack, it's worth it. Yeah, no, it's a great deal. I just didn't buy it because I didn't play it. Like, I played Mario Kart 8 when it was new. I played a little bit of the Switch version, right, back in 2018 or whatever, when it was new then for the Switch. And then I haven't really played like half the games on Switch I want to, which includes Smash, and it includes Mario Kart. And like, it's kind of like a catch-22, right? It's like me and Fortnite. It's like, oh, well, I never played it, so like, what's the point of starting now? And then more shit will come out where it was like, if I just jumped on Fortnite in like season 4 or 5, I probably could have made up for time. But because I haven't done anything in Fortnite, like ever, like I'm continuously drawn to not want to do any. Oh, I can't fight this thing. It's too high level. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a negative feedback loop. It's like, well, I never did anything on Fortnite, so what's the point of playing Fortnite now? And then like a year later, it would have been like, well, damn, I could have at least had half of what I needed done. And that's the one thing I will say is that I'm a Final Fantasy 14 like early adopter relatively, right? Like I was week 1 of Heavensward. If I didn't get into 14 until way later, I probably would not have played it at all. And I don't know what I would have done with my life, actually. Which is a little bit of a scary thought to have. We have to evolve 3 Geodudes. That will be the easiest thing in my life. No, yeah, I'm the first person to tell you that that is an amazing deal, right? Like, they have a game, it works. I just think they should have added more characters. Yeah, no, the fun thing is that Mario Kart 8 does not have any sort of like, oh, you missed this event, your life is over. You know, like, it's just, you race. That's it. And then I could get mad at fucking blue shells that randomly come out of nowhere. And that's the thing that has always pissed me off about Mario Kart, right? Is like, you'll be doing amazingly well, and then a blue shell will come out of nowhere, and then you just lose. And then you get 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, because you get blue shell hit, comboed into a red shell, and then you go from 1st to 8th. And it's like, dude, are you fucking serious? It's just, I'm not like a fan of like a lot of modern Nintendo games, I guess is the real thing. Like, I preferred the ones when I was a kid, which I get are kind of like the aberrations by default, right? I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Like, it doesn't mean they're bad games. It just means that they're games that, like, I preferred the GameCube era, and I'm really sad that a lot of that did not translate out of the GameCube era. So Pikmin 3 would be an example of that. A little bit of modern Fire Emblem. I think Three Houses finally got to a point where I was like, oh yeah, no, this is what I would totally want out of it. What, Alpha Zubat? Oh, Alpha Kricketot? We mastered Zubat, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. But yeah, no, I'll definitely do that. Like, I need to make a list, right, of all the games I'm supposed to play. So I'll do that at some point. I need to make a list. And I need to check it twice. So Mario Kart 8, Ash wants me to play, is it Dark Cloud or something? Mario multiplayer games are made to ruin the common household. Yeah, no one in my family plays video games. Nobody. And it's fine, right? Like, I'm not... What the hell's that, Driftman? It's fine if they don't. It's actually probably for the best. You know, like, I always was a little bit jealous of, like, people who are like, oh, me and my dad, we played Mario Kart or something or whatever, you know, nothing serious. You know, but then I realized as I got older, like, it's not that I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I don't know, I guess gaming for me is like a personal thing. I don't know how to really explain it. Oh my god, why am I doing this? Like, I'm gonna win, it's just I'm gonna lose. Oh wait, no, never mind, I'm not going to win. What the fuck? Fuck me. Alright, we'll go fight something low level. It's dumb. Whatever. You have to see 26 usages of leafage, by the way. Yeah, no, I think I streamed me and my friends playing Mario Kart a long time ago. And that, like I said, it was a long time ago. And then I just never really played it again. My time to play Mario Kart was Double Dash. And that was, like, it's not that I hate it or I think it's bad. I just did it. Oh yeah, I forgot. No, totally. Yeah, obviously a mud bomb on a Turtwig is totally going to deal that much damage. Like, it's just insane numbers across the board. That's alpha. Actually, what is Drifloon at? Apparently. What is Shinx at? Bite and Quick Attack and Evolve 2. Can I target this? Number you're defeated with ghost types. Alright, let's fight these. Here we go. Regardless of if I do play Scarlet and Violet, I will still play these games. Or these games. For once, I could just say this game. I wonder if that counts, by the way, even though it has no effect. Alright. Does Shinx missing... Did that work? I don't think that worked. I think you have to get hit by it. Because it doesn't count as it being used, per se. I don't think that works. I could be wrong. I'm actually going to catch that. Because I'm going to need that for when I actually try to complete Drifloon. Because Drifloon will be a Pokemon I try to complete as well. That's going to come up soon, right? So I might as well just prep that preemptively. Gonna wait with Scarlet Violet until it gets patched first. Crisis Core will keep me warm. Yeah, like there's tons of stuff for me to play. I'm like, if GameStop has it up, I will heavily consider it. But if they don't, I'm not gonna really care that much. Like, as much as I want that Charizard event, I had to think about it. I asked Ash if she could breed like a Charizard and then trade it. Apparently the answer is no, but I would need to be done with the post game, and I don't know. I mean, like, look at the fucking state of those games. It's absurd. It's absurd that they even released in the state that they released in, I mean, I don't even think that that's, like, a controversial take. I think that they genuinely did not give a shit. Whoops. Oh, wait, do I have to defeat it with Ghost-type moves? I do. Oops. I totally forgot that that's what I was doing. Alright, anyway. Why is Charizard an event? Because Charizard's like that special Pokemon that they give a shit about. But this time around, it's not in the national decks for no reason. Or not in the regional decks. So, you can catch it, but you can't trade a Pokemon that's not in the national decks in Scarlet Violet, apparently. And that to me is like mind-blowingly stupid. But if I said something Game Freak does in 2022 is mind-blowingly stupid or behind the curve, that's like saying that Game Freak exists. That's like talking about the sky is blue. Of course it's fucking stupid. They do it anyway. It's whatever. It makes no sense. Like, you can only nostalgia shield a company for so long, and there's very few companies I could think of that get nostalgia shielded any harder than Game Freak. Like, even 343 does not get nostalgia shielded this hard. 343, I mean, to be fair, 343 isn't the same company that made Halo. They just make Halo games. They didn't earn it, as that one video in Crobcat's major, really awesome video that you should go watch said. They didn't earn this, so they don't care. If they had to fight to earn it and interact with fans and do all the crazy weird shit, then they would care more. But because they didn't earn it, they don't give a shit. And I mean, that's the truth, isn't it? They just don't give a fuck because they didn't earn anything. They were just hired by Microsoft to make a fucking game. That's it. That's the extent of 343's, like, I care. And they don't care. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, Charizard, no, like, Charizard has legendary status. It's like, if you don't catch it now, so, like, they run these events knowing that, like, people will want to actually FOMO in. And I mean, like, FOMO's a real thing. It's not, you shouldn't feel bad to feel FOMO. Because I feel it. Because I'm like, if these games actually turn into fire, I'm going to be the only idiot with no Charizard, right? And that alone will make me not want to play the game more, you know? Like, I don't know. It was whatever. So, I mean, we'll just see. I'm kind of at the mercy of if they find it fucking used. Because I'm not buying that shit new. I'll give GameStop the $55. Long before I give it fucking Game Freak. After this game, I'm like, fuck no. And I thought this game was bad. And even I mentally feel like I respect this game harder now than I did, like, a week or two ago. That's the crazy shit. Is, like, bad games will come out, and then you'll be like, damn, was this really so bad? It's like what happened with Halo 5. Halo Infinite comes out, and it's a fucking mess. Or, I'm sorry, no, it was the Halo TV show, I'm sorry. Halo TV show comes out, and it's a goddamn mess, and people love Halo 5 now. Or at least they're a little bit less harsh on it, right? I thought Halo 5 was complete stupidity. But then the TV show came out, and I'm like, at least this was made by people who gave a fuck about Halo. Same thing. Although, to be fair, in this case, it's the same development studio, just caring less and less. As I said, I remember when they build faster Pokemon games as a positive for the fan base. And you see what happens when they make faster Pokemon games. They end up looking like fucking N64 games. They have PS2 models on an N64 game, basically. Did I finish Bidoof? Of course I did. I have to heal. I don't want to hear that beeping at all. Remember when that shit used to play all the time? I wonder what made them get the message on that. I guess years... because that's the thing. That's the unfortunate part, is that, like, with most game studios, unless it's something that, like, either directly costs them sales or makes them the butt of a joke, which they fear will cost them sales, they won't fix it. They won't change or fix or do anything differently. So the only way for stuff to improve is for you to fucking make fun of them and laugh at them. And that's why I like when people were fucking clowning on Scarlet Violet, because that shit needs to be clowned on so they could fix it. Because at the end of the day, all of us want a fucking functional Pokemon game, you know? Nobody wants to see Pokemon fail, but you also just shouldn't want to accept slop. What does she use again? Gengar? No, she uses Rhydon. Okay, anyway. No one wants to accept bad fucking games and be like, wow, this is a Pokemon game, therefore I must say it's good. It happens a lot. Like, even if you want to say people super fanboy Zelda and Mario, I can't think of a single Zelda or mainline Mario game that was, like, actually unplayable and bad, right? But to be fair, no, I can't really think of one. I didn't like Skyward Sword because of the stupid motion controls, but that's about it. Bro, I'm just gonna play Mario Sunshine again. But yeah, it's clear that Game Freak has a lot of favoritism towards Charizard, which is fine because that's my favorite Gen 1 starter. But it's also kind of fucked that, like, the other forms, you know, I think they got Gigantamaxes. They give them stuff for the Gen 1 starters. But I feel like it's very, like, tongue-in-cheek. We're forced to. So that way Charizard doesn't become the only starter worth giving a shit about. Now, apparently we're having a daydream. Charizard should be a permanent event or a timed exclusive. Oh, of course not. You can't talk like that. That would be work, and we know that you can't ask Game Freak to do work. You know, that's like valuable to you. You have to just say, well, Game Freak made a game, I have to buy it, and it's great. And I'm very milquetoast with how I approach, like, even discussing Pokemon. Like, if you go, like, I was having a discussion with some of my friends, and I go in my friend's Discord. It's really my Discord, but I go in my Discord to hear some of the worst gaming takes imaginable, right? Like, oh, well, Nier Automata makes you play as 9S, right? They make you play a truncated version of Part A. First, they wanted to say that you have to replay the entire game 5 times, which is literally not true. And then when I tell them, well, that's not true at all, as, you know, if you play the game, you only replay Part A once, and then you replay the final boss 3 times. That's it. It's not even a hard final boss. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I go into my Discord server to get lied to and to get gaslit, basically, about video games. They did it for Diamond and Pearl. There was a real-life event for Darkrai, and later Darkrai became a permanent special event in the game. Did it? I thought it was in Platinum. Was it in Platinum? Because they didn't update Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl kind of sucks. Like, looking back, that's a game I could tell you when it came out, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I was like, but this, even at the time, I was like, the surfing sucks. It just takes too long. And so back then I was like, whatever, it's fine. I mean, it was the first step into 3D, you know, and I was kind of cool with it. But yeah, I'm very lax about what I say about it. But I mean, like, there's not a lot of good things to say about these games. These look like PS2 games. You know, the PS2 went out of fucking service, what, in 2007, 2010? It's old. It's a fucking old console. You would never look at any other franchise and say that this looks acceptable. So automatically, like, Pokemon gets handled with kid gloves. I don't know why certain events aren't permanent. It's FOMO. Came Platinum, but it didn't go away. They gave it to the people that couldn't go to the USA or Japan for one poke. I mean, yeah. Why didn't they run that event from... When did Gen 4 start, right? Like, 2017, 2018? Or, I'm sorry, 2007, 2008? Why don't they just run the event from 2008 to 2011? Like, a 4-year period. Like, what... It's like the Diamond and Pearl events in BDSP. It's like, why aren't they still running? It's a fucking outfit. Right? It's an outfit and like some things for your house, your secret base. And that's it. And if you didn't get it, you just never get it. You will never get it because they ran it for a month. I don't even know if I have the fucking event for BDSP, if I'm being honest with you. Because I kind of stopped caring after I got the shiny charm, and you already know that story. So like I kind of just stopped caring. I'm like, well, fuck it. They don't care about that. They don't really care about Arceus. I mean, this game literally looks like something that would have come out in 2010. Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, nobody wants fucking Pokemon games to be bad, right? I just think that Pokemon games should have more features in them. Because in the DS versions, they had more features in all these games, right? Like, you can't just say an open world justifies cutting everything in the post-game. Like, what's the point of the game, then? The open world cannot be used as a justification for why they have to cut everything else that's existed for the last, like, decade and a half, right? Like, in Gen 4, you could have infinite rematches against the gym leaders. I actually did that. That was the one thing I was trying to learn, was all their schedules, so every day I could rematch a couple gym leaders. And I stopped right before that because I played a shit ton of Heart Gold, right? And recently I was playing Soul Silver again, so I could import Pokemon from my playthroughs into my Soul Silver so I could fucking duplicate them and shit. And I was like, dude, this game has so much more quality than a modern Pokemon game. It's insane. And that just made me respect the Game Freak of 2010 way more. Pokemon must fail enough to become a multi... It's not gonna fail. Are you kidding me? Where? Starly? I think so. Now, this is a random Starly, but, you know, hey, I'll take it. Yeah, I even see the sparkle. There you go. Munchlax spawns out here? Times you call, okay, I already have. Times you're giving it food, I don't have enough, so I have to wait. I'll do it later. Sword and Shield was a start. Sword and Shield and then Scarlet and Violet are the most pre-ordered Pokemon games. It's not a start. It's actually the end. Are you kidding me? Welcome to the next rant stream. Yes, welcome to the next rant stream. Hello, Ash. I'm sorry to hear about your... Oh, shit. Ow. Sorry to hear about your 14 troubles with the hard drive or whatever. Yeah, no, it's a big game. That's part of the reason why I like playing it on PC, honestly. Like there is no better way to play 14 than on PC with keyboard and mouse. As much as I don't do that, like, that is the way to play it, for sure. You kind of have to play it with keyboard and mouse. Like, if you see all the high-level people, they all play with keyboard and mouse. I have no idea how to play that game without a controller. That's why I'm so dependent on having cheap controllers I could spam and break. No, she got a PS5. She's in the club now. How many games do I play on my PS5 again? I think I played 3 games. I don't even remember what they were. Resident Evil 8 is like the only one I remember off the top of my head. It's like Resident Evil 8, Tactics Ogre is the latest one. Sonic and Callisto Protocol are going to be another 2. I play on PS4 and that's how it's going to stay. Yeah, for now, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. I don't know when they're going to drop PS4 support. I don't know if they were discussing 7.0 or 8.0. Probably by 8.0, I imagine. I pre-ordered Hogwarts. I think I pre-ordered Hogwarts too, ages ago. Much sadness. I want one, but I ain't gonna put in 750. Oh yeah, they raised it in the UK, right? Yeah, you guys are getting scalped by the fucking makers of the console. That's insanity. Alright, we have to 3 more. You guys are getting scalped by the motherfuckers that make the console. That's actually insane. That's tragic. What? Why would I... Now, what kind of... Dude, the lock-on in this game. Anyway, can you leave? Alright, I guess not. Let's just take our free hits and then leave. We don't need to fight a Starly. I'm hoping it runs away. Will I do a third-person playthrough of Resident Evil 8 so soon? I don't know, maybe. I just think that third-person is a really cool thing to add, because someday I will definitely do that. Because it basically becomes like Resident Evil 4 a little bit. Like, you could see how they... Perfect. You could see how they basically prepped Resident Evil 4, you know? I think that that's actually really cool. As much as I disagree with the Resident Evil 4 remake in lieu of a Code Veronica one, I will at least say, like, they have a good mastery of what makes that engine really work. My only thing is that now I think it's not as graphically impressive as it was back in 2017. But I think that's just because everything else has caught up to it, you know? The lighting on the RE engine is really good. That is one thing I will say about it, is that the RE engine has really good lighting. Like, insanely good. There you go. We have to fail a bunch of hypnosises, by the way. Should we do Shinx next? There you go. Turtwig's done. We just have to keep using Overheat whenever we use Typhlosion, basically. Defeat a few more with Ghost types. We have to defeat, what, another 4 Ponytas with Ember, or Water? Water? Yeah, Water, yeah. Let's leave for now. I like how every shiny I found today has not been from an event. No, Code Veronica needs to come first. I'm sorry. Code Veronica is too crucial to the story. You cannot have the Resident Evil story without Code Veronica. It doesn't make any sense. Why would we remake Revelations? Revelations is, 1, not that great, and 2, it's already been ported. It's like a 2010 game, 2011 game, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Dino Crisis, sure. How crucial can incest be? Well, okay, that might be part of the plot, but like the whole Wesker Returns thing and the Ashford shit is definitely like a big part of the plot. Like, even if it's memery. Oh, Revelations 3. I'm sorry, I misread it. I saw the 3 twice. I don't think Revelations is that great of a series, if I'm being honest with you. Like, the whole like selling point of Resident Evil Revelations was, hey, it'll be similar to like an old school Resident Evil game. And then it wasn't similar to an old school Resident Evil game, right? Like, you know, like the OG Resident Evil games have a very unique style of game progression, right? Like, it's more like a puzzle than actually fighting enemies half the time. Revelations is just Resident Evil 5 Lite with no co-op. That's literally it. That is Resident Evil Revelations. It has absolutely jack shit to do with old school Resident Evil gameplay. So that's why I didn't really like it. I was like, well, I didn't like 1. I think I bought 2 and I never played it because I was like, it's not going to be the same type of game. So I was like, well, fuck it. Who cares? It's like one of the few Resident Evil games I have never played that's not like Resident Evil Gaiden or something. You know, like games no one cares about and are like meme games now, you know? Why am I keeping this Teddy Ursa? I have no idea, but I guess I'll keep it for now. I actually liked Resident Evil Code Veronica when I played it on the GameCube. I was like, this is like a very fucking weird game. But in a good way, you know? Like, I could play a weird game and think it's really good. It's just, it was definitely a game. It was definitely a very good experience. Because it was like, it's hard too, man. There's a lot of instant death in that game. Like, a lot. That one boss fight with Alexia, when she turns, like, silver, basically, is like an instant grab for Chris that's death. Effectively. And I was like, are you serious? That was like, okay, every time you get insta-killed by something in a game, there's always that moment, like, really, motherfucker? Like, for real? Especially from high health, mind you. Like, I got insta-killed in God of War. I was at, like, a third of my life bar. I was like, dude, are you fucking for real? But, of course, God of War just kind of, like, I think does adaptive difficulty. I keep really feeling like it does adaptive difficulty. And then the reason I say that is because, like, you'll die, you'll fight an enemy again, and then you'll body the shit out of it. And I don't know if it's just because you get health back when you die in that game or what. I don't know. Old Resident Evil is one location and everything's locked. Shit's locked the game. Code Veronica's alright, but the Magnum Factor is mind-blowing. Don't take the fire extinguisher. Don't take the fire extinguisher is gone. The fire extinguisher is gone, Magnum? I don't remember what the reference for that is. I'm sorry. See, what I remember is that in Resident Evil, oh great, in Resident Evil 3, you get either the Magnum or the grenade launcher in the police factory. That's what I remember from that. I don't really remember Code Veronica, sadly. Not that well, at least. Like I said, I was playing that shit back in like 2009. That was like some of the first M-rated titles I started playing. Was like, hey, I went to GameStop and I found. Remember where you would find GameCube games on the fucking like shelf? Yeah, that was me back then. I was playing and looking for GameCube games. I was like, dude, Resident Evil's cool, right? Because I remember seeing Zero and Resident Evil Remake in the fucking Nintendo Power, but I don't remember that, and that's why I wish I had documented and written down way more. That's honestly a mistake of mine, is that I never saved like a lot of like the documents I made when I was like younger, right? So like that Resident Evil Remastered Knife Only run, like I don't have that document. That was like the one document I made for me playing Resident Evil, and now I'm sad I don't have it anymore. I genuinely don't know where it is. I've looked across 3 different computers and I have no idea where it is. I looked across the computer I used to take to college. I looked across my old Alienware I used to render videos on. I looked across this computer. I looked across a laptop I haven't even used since high school, just in the off chance maybe I dumped it there. I looked through my Google accounts. I looked through everything, and it's nowhere to be found. And this is why you make a backup of everything you do, because what happened is I probably had it in a folder that I deleted, right? And I just didn't care. I didn't back it up. I just put it away somewhere, and that was it, and I never found it again. I'll never find it again. So I have to literally rewrite it from the video, which is going to be great. Anyway. After you leave the main island to get to the last boss, there's a Magnum in the factory. But you need to take the fire extinguisher with you from the main island. You need to put out some fire. See, this is all stuff I don't remember. At all. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I just don't remember it. I feel like there's a lot of cryptic shit in Resident Evil Code Veronica. I think you're right about that. Like, a lot of this stuff is like, you need to do like random shit early in the game. And then later on when you play as Chris, like, you have to come back and do it differently or something. I don't know. It's really fucking weird. Like, giving the lighter to that Rodrigo guy or whatever. Like, the wounded guard. Like, I don't know what the significance of giving him the lighter is. He dies regardless. I think it's just to give Chris the lighter. It's this very weird, complex thing where it's like, hey, you could take my light source. And then, like, halfway through the game, when Chris comes to the island, he can get the lighter from him, I want to say. But I know that he gets, like, eaten, and then you have to kill the worm on top of it to get him to spit it back. Yeah, it's so complex. I mean, I guess it isn't that. What the fuck is that? It's a Bidoof. Okay, I was gonna say, is that an Eevee? About to get super happy for some reason. Yo, the Shinies are absolutely out of control lately. What? What? The order of events on that was incredibly sus. Yeah, if you screw up as Claire, you make your... Basically, the way that this game works, and this is what I like about this game, but it's also one of the things that makes it kind of annoying, and you could dead-end yourself in Code Veronica, is that depending how you play Claire, Chris's part either becomes easier or harder. It's still hard regardless, but, like, it depends how you actually, like, engage with the game as Claire. Basically determines how the end of the game plays out. So if you've never played the game, the way the game works is that you play as Claire for the opening portion, and then in the second half of the game you play as Chris, right? The start of the game is on like some island, Rockford Island, and then it goes to Antarctica, and then halfway through the game you switch over to playing as Chris. And Chris is basically on the trail of his sister trying to figure out like what the hell she's doing, where is she? So you show up at Rockford Island after she's already been abducted back into in Antarctica. She's been captured basically. So like you basically play both parts of the game twice, pretty much. As different characters. And then as Claire you get Steve as an additional helper character, and then as Chris you get to play as Claire for a little bit. It's really a shitty segment where you run away from a big creature without spoiling it too heavily. And it's really kind of trash because I never found a way to dodge the attacks. I just had enough healing to get through the fucking corridor. And then it's this really big unresolved plot line that never came back, even though it was kind of teased at a little bit. And yeah, no one really cares about some of those characters. That's why Code Veronica is such a weird game, because canonically it's super important, because it's the first time that Wesker has like actually revealed himself since Resident Evil 1. Which means that Chris's campaign is at minimum somewhat canon, because Chris needs to know that Wesker is like actually... I think Chris was actually there when Wesker got revived. That's why like the canon of Resident Evil is such a fucking mess, because none of the games have the canon scenarios in them. So... yeah, if you don't conserve your ammo, you can dead-end yourself, right? And most people probably don't even know what dead-ending is in video games, because they definitely balance games now where you will, if you play decently, you never can really dead-end yourself, right? Because like dead-ending is basically a way to say like, hey, you fucked up, you have to replay the whole level or the whole game. Any shinies? Yes, we've had 3 shinies today, all of them random. We had a shiny Yanma, a shiny Bidoof, and a shiny Starly. I got Pokemon Scarlet, very nice. I really think that extra rolls, like those extra 2 or so rolls, really made a difference, by the way. Because like I maxed out Bidoof and I maxed out Starly ages ago, and we're already finding more shinies for them. Now obviously it's all a game of RNG, but you never know, right? Recent REs refilled the ammo, the gun you use the most. That was, yeah, like that's part of like the casualization of gaming. Like, do I think that that's a good thing? Yeah, I'll say so. I think that it can be very frustrating on lower difficulties to play through like 10 hours of a game get to the end of the game and basically, the game doesn't tell you this, by the way. You have to mathematically determine in your head, I do not have enough ammo or enough health to get through this boss. And that's it. And then you just lose. And, like, you basically can never win. Most games are pretty good about this now. Now, there's always the case for you to dead end in a horror game, right? Like, there's always the case that you just don't have enough HP, or you don't have enough upgrades, or you don't have whatever. But I think Zero and Code Veronica are definitely the hardest games, because you can dead end in Zero and Veronica very easily. Now, luckily, these games were made to be played multiple times, right? Like, nowadays, people would be like, oh my god, these games suck, right? I imagine if I presented this to my friends, assuming that they were even willing to play horror games, because none of them want to, and they all think horror games are bad. Like, if I were to present this, they would be like, wow, this is shit. But 10, 20 years ago, people thought that shit was cool. They're like, wow, so you're... I mean, it is, right? It's like Dark Souls, in a way. And I hate to make that comparison, but that kind of unforgiving gameplay is like a hallmark of, like, Souls games. So, like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's cool when Dark Souls does it, but not when, like, anyone else does, which is kind of fucked up, but... I mean, do you expect anything more from modern dude bro gamers? Like, seriously? The fact that Dark Souls caught on is, like, a glitch in the Matrix, honestly. I feel like any other timeline, people would have been like, no, Dark Souls sucks, dude. What are you talking about? You have to roll, you have to deal with fucking armor abilities and shit. Like, I think that people would like the story and they would hate the gameplay. And I genuinely think that's how most people would view Dark Souls in the modern day. They would be like, wow, this game sucks, but at least it's got a good story, and I guess at the time it was graphically good. I think in Resident Evil 4, it's also possible to dead end yourself. It's kind of hard, though. Because, to be fair, the final boss of Resident Evil 4, you just have to damage him enough to the point that you get the rocket launcher from Ada. And if you could land the RPG hit, you win. That's it. That RPG is a hit scan. If it detects that you've hit Sadler, you win. That's it. The fight's over. And at that point, it doesn't matter what weapon you have. So that's why whenever I play that game and I get to the ending, I always run around with no weapon out. Because if you fire the RPG, you lose the weapon, right? Like, the weapon goes away. So I just run around with no weapon out for the epic conclusion. Man, Resident Evil 4 is such a good fucking game, man. But honestly, Raiden, it makes me wonder if they're, like, a little bit reluctant to deal with some of the story matter, right? I think they're a little bit reluctant to deal with, like, Alexia and what's the other one's name? The male? I don't remember his name. I think they don't really want to deal with, like, the fact that he's kind of schizophrenic. And he's also... Oh, shit. I did the wrong move. And he's also a cross-dresser. I don't know if they really want to deal with that in the modern-day political culture. Like, I think that even the Japanese are a little bit wary of stirring the pot a little too heavily. You know? The way to end yourself in RE is buying a lot of weapons and don't upgrade about one weapon to exclusive. Yeah, I'll agree to that. But it's kind of hard to dead end yourself in Resident Evil 4. Even without that, like... Even if you upgrade nothing, I'm sure you could still beat the game just fine. I think the worst boss in the game is the Salazar boss fight. By far. I think the Salazar boss fight is the worst fight in Resident Evil 4. Because he has that one insta-kill move. I used to think it was if you stood near the edge of the platform. He just will use it. And you're just supposed to know how to dodge it with no strafing and very strict timing. And I always thought that was like the most bullshit like death in Resident Evil 4. Because there's no way to know that he's going to use that move. You're just in the way of it and you die. Otherwise, Salazar is literally the easiest fight in the game. You snipe both eyes and you fire the fucking RPG into him and he dies. That's it. If you hold on to like one RPG or if you buy it right outside of his room, you could just body him in like 5 seconds. It's crazy. But yeah, he's the one boss that's like actually kind of bullshit because he will flat out insta-kill you regardless of health. Whereas usually like most of these games you have to be low on health to get insta-killed, right? Like, I guess it's not an insta-kill, right? But in order to be grappled and then die right away, like you have to be low on health. Where the fuck is Yanma? Another 25. Okay, let's go refresh. I think we've done a good amount here. Yeah, fucking shiny Bidoof. But yeah, like, I like quirks like that. Now, do I think that it should be something maybe restricted for higher difficulties or something, or a special game mode? Sure, because I think that, you know, it would be a turnoff for most people to play that much of a game, and then basically, like, the game doesn't even tell you. The game is like, yeah, this boss requires this amount of damage, and you're nowhere close to that. Remember, old Resident Evil games did not tell you how weak the boss was, unless it did, like, a slumping animation or, like, a slow movement. Which, actually, funnily enough, the Tyrant in Resident Evil 4 does that. I'm sorry, the Tyrant in Code Veronica does that. It does, like, a slumping animation as it, like, goes across the ground. Let's do Tangrowth. Maybe the RPG, you can down him and put a clip of Lightning Hawk in his eye. That's how I did it. Every one of my playthroughs, I just pulled out the RPG. I'm like, fuck it. Because the longer you're in a fight with him, the more opportunities he has to use that instant kill move. So, like, I just say to myself, well, why bother with that? Just fucking kill him. I mean, I'm not... Your strategy probably is more money efficient, but luckily for me, I never thought that Resident Evil 4 was a very, like, penny pincher game, you know? It's like the big mutated cockroaches in Resident Evil 5. Like, what were they called? There's something... The Verdugo? No. Whatever the big cockroach monsters are that grab you and insta-kill you. Yeah, basically that. I don't know, like, that's the one enemy I remember from Resident Evil 5. Because I remember being like, oh, these guys seem simple. So I ran around them and I instantly died. He grabbed my ass. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, game? Like, you're just supposed to know that these enemies, out of everything else, will insta-kill you. Alright, dude, sure. That's what I like to see from video games. Nice and zero consistency. I love it. The Demos? They might be called the Demos. I think you're right. You know, you actually remind me, I need to put Resident Evil 5 on my Series X. I haven't played that game in ages. I never did a playthrough on it. I was supposed to do a co-op playthrough with some of my friends, and we just never played it. It's really kind of tragic. I started with Surger 2. I tried to get Gundam Otaku to do it, but I can't get him to play any Resident Evil games. So it's very unfortunate because I think it would be absolutely hilarious. So I guess at some point next year, I'll probably just play Resident Evil 5 myself. I'll probably just play, I don't know, I want to play the 360 version a little bit because that's the one I played. I'd like to try to get the Platinum for it. I'm up for a playthrough. Yeah, but are you up for me to try to get the Platinum for it? I'd like to get it. Because, like, okay, I got every achievement in the base game besides professional mode. And the reason why I never got professional mode is because in the first level, the AI in Resident Evil 5 is kind of stupid. This is the actual AI problem I had with it, right? Is that the AI in Resident Evil 5 is really dumb. So what it will do is, if there's something on the ground, it will run over and pick it up regardless of risk to itself. And in professional mode, you just get insta-downed by everything. So eventually I just got tired of getting fucking downed, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I didn't. I cleared it professional mode. Yeah, I just got tired of it. I was like, dude, this is dumb. I tried one afternoon. I didn't really try that hard, but I was like, dude, I don't want to put up with this bullshit. And I was done. I was like, whatever. If I ever want to do it, I could come back to it. And that was like in 2010 or 2011. And now it's like 2012. And it's more just the fact that I want to get that, like, little, you know... I don't even know if you could see it anymore on the fucking Series X, right? But, like, when you platinum a game, it gives you the, what is it called? The little, like, emblem. It used to be like this on the 360, right? After the big update in 2011. Like, it would show a list of all the games that you got all the achievements for. And I remember really... I used to love putting games on that list. It was fun. I had Alan Wake on that list. I still do, obviously. But, like, I don't know if you could see it as easily on the Series X. I don't know how it works anymore now that it's, like, all integrated with Windows PC and stuff. I have no idea how that works out. What do we need to do for Ghastly? See it use Astonish, number you've evolved. What about for Dusclops? I gotta get a better chair as well. Yeah, I guess we could go do Dusclops, right? We could defeat it a whole bunch with Shadow or with Ghost moves. See, use Dark Pulse. Yeah, let's do Dusclops. Normally I wouldn't, and normally I would save, but it's fine. I got it on PS4 and Steam. I call Shiny. Yeah, I hope so. The Steam version don't work. You need to launch it through the Windows Play Store. I think they patched that. Hold on. Did they patch that? I feel like they did patch that. I could be wrong. I know that because I own Resident Evil 5 on Steam. I never really played it on Steam. That's where I would have played it with Gundam Otaku. It would have been a fresh playthrough. Let's see. Yeah, for Windows 7 operating users, right? Microsoft has ended support for these OSs, so Capcom will also remove them from the list of supported OSs. Beyond this date, support for gameplay and any unsupported OSs can only be offered for previously known issues, and Capcom will not be able to troubleshoot. I don't know. It wouldn't start. Damn, well that sucks then, because do they have Resident Evil 5, like the remastered version? They should, right? Dude, it's a single-player game predominantly. It's just so weird to me. Whatever. What a damn shame. Resident Evil 5 is also another game that has a lot of cool stuff in it. But again, it's a chapter-based game, and it's meant to be a multiplayer game. That's why I never liked it too much. Like, it's meant to be played, like, chapter by chapter with friends. And that's the whole thing. Like, that was, like, co-op was big back in, like, the 360 era because all the consoles proved that you could do it. And so, like, Capcom, of course, ruined, like, the one great thing they had going for them with Resident Evil 4 by putting mandatory co-op into Resident Evil 5. It was kind of a tragedy. I really think that Resident Evil 5 would have been a really good game if they had stuck to some of the, like, I guess the rumors that people were discussing, right? Maybe Gold Edition? I got the standard. I have no idea. I guess I shouldn't speak to it because I never played Resident Evil 5 on PC. I only ever played Resident Evil 5 on console. I played it first on 360 and then again on PS4. And I basically did the same thing again on PS4 that I did on the original game. I basically got every achievement in the game except for professional. And I just have never gone back to try to do professional solo. Which makes me very sad. Damn, that sucks, though. Despite its flaws, it's still a good game. It's just not a great game. It's not Resident Evil 4. And I think that's Capcom is trying to chase that Resident Evil 4 magic, right? First with Resident Evil 8, and now obviously with the fucking remake of, like, one of the most iconic games of all time. So, yeah. But that's why I really wish they would remake Resident Evil Code Veronica, because, like I said, there's, like, a whole bunch of cryptic stuff in the game, you know. There's a whole lot of stuff that they could do with it if it was a little more streamlined and a little more accessible to people. I think people would love it all the same, but I think that everything has been building towards this remake of this super iconic game or something. And apparently now you can parry the chainsaw, because now they put parrying in Resident Evil, which is hilarious given that Resident Evil gave rise to Devil May Cry. It's the weirdest shit imaginable. I don't know why they let you parry the chainsaw. That feels a little silly. I'm sure it's not super easy, right? Could probably even be health dependent, right? Like, depending how much health you have, that's how easily you parry it. But I think it's a little silly. But, I mean, it's a modern-day remake of a fucking game, so what do I expect? Of course, they sandpapered all the edges and fun out of it. That's what they do with video games. Never fix the knife. Yeah, that's the thing about Code Veronica. The fucking knife is stupidly broken in Code Veronica. That's the one thing about it. I remember that. I didn't really use that on my first playthrough, but I think I knifed a couple zombies, and I was like, damn, this shit's really fucking good. And that's because it is. I know in Resident Evil 2, I know this because I remember looking at some of the speedrunning for it, because I was going to try to, like, do all the time trials or whatever to beat the game super quick or whatever, and that never happened. But the thing I remember about Resident Evil 2, when it came out, is that the knife was tied to the frame rate of your computer. So basically, people were indirectly paying for better times by having knife kills because every frame that the knife was out, it would deal damage. Most games don't do this because obviously this sounds really fucking stupid, because it is, but I'm sure it was an oversight on their part on an otherwise amazing masterpiece. But basically the knife will check every frame to see if it's hitting something. And obviously if you have more frames in your game, the more often it checks per second. So people are jacking up their Resident Evil 2s to like 120, 100 some, you know, ridiculous amount of frame rate. And I think the speedrunning community, when they found this out, had to institute a frame cap. They're like, listen, you could play it at 60, you could play it at 120, but you can't like buy a better GPU and buy a better CPU to get the world record or something. It was a bunch of laughs I had at that. I was like, wow, really? That's crazy. And you would never know this on console, because on console I'm pretty sure it runs at 30. So like the knife is probably balanced around 30 and it's a developer oversight. I don't know the full story, I just remember that. Like, sometimes the knife is overpowered in Resident Evil, and then most of the time it's useless. And the hilariousness of it is that, like, in most of the games where it would be helpful to have the knife be broken, it's worthless. And then vice versa. Oh, it is frame rate, okay. It kind of hits the floor if you knife downwards, would cause it to be used multiple times. Yeah, so you could fast down zombies in that game. Okay, see, that's the kind of stuff I remember reading, but I never looked into it or did it myself, to my knowledge. Or to my remembrance, I guess, would be a better way of saying it. Yeah, the fucking knife is broken in Code Veronica. It's actually hilarious. It's one of my favorite things about the game, is that, like, the knife is broken, you could dead-end yourself, which I think is really cool, because then when you don't do it, you feel like a boss. It's definitely the hardest Resident Evil game, for sure. I would say that out of all the original 3, right, that are like super hard, Zero, Code Veronica, and 3, I think 3 can randomly be the hardest. Like, 3 will spike really fucking hard, and then it will go back to normal. I think 0 can be kind of hard, depending how you prep yourself for the end of the game, 100%. And then I think that Code Veronica just consistently, especially if you want to get the canon ending, is really difficult. I mean, technically the ending for that game is always the same, but there's, you know, there's certain events that apparently canonically happen, like the lighter event, and like it's totally possible to just not see those at all. What are bullets? Is this a laser sight? Can it go on this knife? Yeah, that's exactly what I did in Resident Evil when I was doing the knife only run. I'm like, dude, is it actually possible to beat this game like with knife only? I mean, they made an achievement, but I had to ask myself, like, how realistic is it that I'm going to be able to beat this game knife only, right? Like, what are the parts of the game where you actually have to kill enemies to progress? And surprisingly, Resident Evil 1, there's not a lot of portions where you have to use the knife to kill or you have to kill anything. You have to kill the yawn the second time. You have to kill it. You have to kill the crimson head in the crypt. You have to kill that. That's the first enemy of the game you have to kill. You have to kill that dog that has the key in its necklace, right? Or the key in its pouch or whatever. You have to kill that dog so you can get the key. I think it's the armor key. Or maybe it's the sword key. I can't remember. Oh my god. Do we need to... Oh, we could use Yanma on this. Yeah. And then after that, you don't have to kill anything. If you get the bad ending intentionally, you don't have to kill Tyrant. And then at the end of the game, you just fire off the, what is it, the flares, and then the game ends, and that's it. And you're like, yeah, you get a bad ending, but like, you know... Who cares? Actually, wait, hold on. Did I fight Tyrant at the end of the game? Because I feel like I... Oh, we're not going to win this. Can we run? It's level 60. I just saw that. Whoops. Did I fight Tyrant? I don't even remember. I should look this up. I feel like I didn't. I know I didn't rescue Chris. I could have. I just had, I wasn't really trusting my timer, and I was like, you don't have to save Chris in order to beat the game, knife only. Obviously, saving can't beat Tyrant without firing the rocket launcher. No, that's the second time. Oh, yeah, you're right. I did do that. Yes. The rocket launcher does not count. It's a cutscene. I remember a lot of people on the internet were like, no, the rocket launcher counts. I'm like, did you actually test it? Or are you just going off the idea that because you fired the rocket, it counts? And it turns out firing the rocket launcher at the end of the game does not count as a bullet fired. So you are free to fire the rocket launcher as much as you want. Well, in that one cutscene, that is. Even if he swats it away, it does not count. And I remember thinking about that. I was like, dude, did people actually test this? Or did people just say, oh, this doesn't seem correct, so therefore it's wrong, you know? Like, did you actually test if that's the case? And it's one of those, like, internet myths. And, like, obviously I'm no myth buster, right? But I was like, these people are wrong, by the way. The first hit always gets deflected. Not on lower difficulties, I don't think, right? I think on lower difficulties, the first hit does not get deflected, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Regardless, it's viewed as a cutscene by the game. You're just basically firing a big cutscene trigger. Now, I don't know if you miss with the rocket launcher if it counts as a bullet fired. That would be the Mythbusters right there. But firing the rocket launcher at the end does not count as a bullet fire if it hits Tyrant. Presumably, I'd like for them to just be nice and not have it count, but I don't know. I could be wrong, so... Anyway, we're talking about a game I haven't even really played in almost 7 years. Now, not that there's anything wrong with it, I just don't remember this stuff because I played it so long ago. Pans 3 times before you see the explosion. Yeah, it's a cutscene trigger. I remember that because that's in the original game where it does like the super slow-mo. Because remember, Resident Evil is based heavily off of like action series. What the hell is this? Oh. It's literally based off of like old 80s action movies, which when you think about it, it's really cool. Now what they really should do, right? I don't know who owns the licenses to things like, you know, the what's the studio that made King's Quest and all those other games, right? I forget, but they should like totally like remake and report a lot of those games. I think that would be really good because like you have to run like Scum VM, and I have nothing against it, right? I just prefer not to do all that kind of stuff. I guess I'm a little bit of a... Oh my god. Is it all Rapidashes? No, I just think it's a bunch of... It's a bunch of big boys. I like how that didn't summon my Pokemon. That was weird. Anyway. Still faster. I need to get rid of this thing. I'm not really worried about the lower level. Man, you're making me want to play Resident Evil games again. That's crazy. All this stuff I've forgotten about because it's been years since I played like a Resident Evil game like from the old series. That's why playing Resident Evil 4 at the start of this year felt like Alien a little bit, you know? It was like going back in time to 2009, even though I forget like simple things like that one Crusher puzzle. I'm like, dude, the Crusher puzzle literally has the fucking switch right next to it. And I'm over here like, how do you fucking get through it? Yeah, that, I forgot. That's definitely, like, ancient history. Because they are great if you don't care about the story. I care about the story. I care about the story in the worst way possible. Because if you play Resident Evil 1 or Resident Evil 2, you don't get the canon version of events in any game out of the remakes or the original. It's kind of silly. I think the best one is by far Umbrella Chronicles. But then let's like saying play a rail shooter to get the story of a mainline game. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. That's why Resident Evil 5 was so significant when they had that big ass recap menu. Because it's like, oh, all this shit actually happened, right? Like, you're over here reading about, oh, well, there were 5 confirmed survivors of the mansion incident. Chris, Jill, Barry, Rebecca, and Brad. Right? Like, guaranteed those were the 5 survivors because, what's his name? Wesker was deemed to be dead. Shit was cool. And then basically Wesker has that, like, final thing with Lisa Trevor. If I had to give the Resident Evil series one bit of clout, the shitty Netflix one, as bad as it is, right? They did reference a couple things from the games that I think are so obscure, they could only have been referenced by somebody who actually played the games and knew about the game lore. Right? So, like, when they play Moonlight Sonata on the piano, that's a cool moment, you know? Lisa Trevor is mentioned a little bit. There were a couple other references. I kind of threw it all out in my head because that show was so fucking bad. It has nothing to do with Resident Evil besides having the name stapled on it. I would have loved to see Lance Reddick just be in something that was better. I don't know how else to put it. He's such a good actor. He's such a good voice actor. And honestly, Horizon definitely made me like really appreciate him more. And it's a shame that we get his expertise in good acting in a series that literally is written by clowns with clown characters. Like, it's just sad. He's the best part of that series. Even Japan thought he was the best part of that series. And that's why they had to fucking censor the IGN Japan review for it. Because this dude wrote it, he's like, what the fuck is this besides Resident Evil in name only and nothing else? This is trash. Lance Reddick is cool, but that's about it. The rest of this is awful. And people got mad at him for it. Umbrella Chronicles is the most complete yet shitty way to experience... Yeah, Umbrella and Darkseid are the most complete but shitty ways to experience Resident Evil. You're not wrong about that. I thought that was a Pokemon cry. That's just me.
It's not even a glitch. It's just
Imjus2078. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah! Look at this. Oh, shit.
Waiting for a shiny to show up, honestly. Yeah, Chatot is one of the rare Pokemon where a shiny will spawn. Or, I'm sorry, where they'll run away. By the way, did I say thanks for the follow? You know what? Shout out to you. Thank you for the follow. In my massive Resident Evil rant. I really appreciate it. Oh, shit. Alright, anyway. That's what I do here. I rant about game. For once, I'm ranting about a game series I love, though. So you can't get mad at me. Like, I'm actually talking about a game series I genuinely love and enjoy. And I think is absolutely amazing. So, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. We should play Resident Evil games on this channel. I don't know. I want to play the Shadow of Rose DLC first. And then I guess I am playing... Raiden, you've done it. I'm playing Resident Evil 4. I'll do it. I'll do it even though the whole playthrough is going to be me saying, but when the original, he called Ashley's boobs ballistics, which is a joke from the 2000s when the US was firing missiles into anything that even had a drop of oil. And it'll be great. And in the new version, they're not going to say that line. If that line makes it, I'll do something crazy. I'll buy something ridiculously expensive. Oh shit, look at this. I'll buy like the super fanboy like Capcom edition, like I don't know. I'll buy some Capcom game I normally wouldn't buy. Like maybe like the next Street Fighter. I'll never play it. I'll just buy it if they actually put that line in. I'm not gonna remember this in months, so I won't have to live up to it. But I think that would be hilarious if that line returns. No banter allowed in any video games anymore. Sony is scared of being canceled by anime titties. Resident Evil 1 remake first? What? They already remade Resident Evil 1. Wait, what am I out here looking for? Riolu? Okay, I need to change the move. I'm going to change this from Rock Slide to Aerial Ace. We're actually going to fight these guys if we're not going to catch them. But hopefully we get a shiny Riolu. That would be, like, really good. Because this is, you know, it's hard to get Riolus. I would like a shiny, yes. That's why I'm going to try to master Riolu. It'll just take a little bit. I need to see what I need to do for it, though. They need to remake Code Veronica, and then Outbreak 1 and 2. Even if they remove the multiplayer from Outbreak, I think that they should... I just wish they had canonized a lot more in Resident Evil, because Resident Evil has a really good storyline. Oh shit, she's over here. That's excellent. Thank you. Are they aggressive? I think they are. I like how they look like Sonic characters. We ain't playing PS1 Director's Cut. Dude, can I find the fucking original PS1 game, please? You can never find it anywhere. That's what pisses me off so much. You have to buy the shitty Director's Cut with the tubas playing in the background, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? Some dude at Capcom was like, we need to put tubas because tubas are... Alright, anyway. We need to put tubas in our game because tubas are cool, man. What, Zoomers want to experience farts? I don't know, dude. Did I make the game? I already told you, if I were to make a horror game, it would be kind of like Resident Evil 1 mixed with a little bit of, like, Until Dawn. I think that I would do the whole, like, character swapping thing. I would do, like, a little bit of, like, Zero meets Resident Evil 1. Where, like, you pick a main character and then you get a helper character at times. I think that's a really interesting system to tell the story from multiple characters' perspectives. It would be gory. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the basement is where they play the fucking tubas. It's what a clown show it is. But I'm telling you, it would be super gory. If my game, I would put a personal warning. I would make you sign a contract like Persona 5. So that way when you get to the troublesome parts, it's like, listen, motherfucker, this game is fake. It's a fictional game. And then I would just have people's heads getting ripped off. You know, I'd have people getting underworlded, their jaws getting ripped off. Fucking big cockroaches, like, eating people alive and shit. It would be great. Because you know, like, that's the perfect way to, like, totally scar someone. If you're gonna make something horrific, you gotta go Dead Space. You gotta, like, make it so, like, they're scared to go to bed at night. I agree with Kojima on this, by the way. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking for real right now? Oh, by the way, that doesn't work. I like how I had to use 4. I'm a little scared I'm gonna trigger the sister. There she is, okay. Dude. Do you guys know what that means? The last time I got a Riolu event that I got a shiny from, I pulled 2 from the same event. You could go back and look. This is the second time I have pulled... This is the third time I pulled 2 Pokemon from the same event. And this is the second time it's been Riolu. There's something going on in the universe right now. No, I don't want to just be an interactive movie. I want there to be a good amount of gameplay. That's the one thing I don't like about, like, Until Dawn and all those games, even though I like them and I respect them for making them. I don't really like the fact that, like, it's mostly a movie, you know? Like, I need gameplay in my game. So, ironically, I would kind of do a little bit of, like, Saw meets Resident Evil, you know? Like, hypothetically, if I were to, like, make my own movie, right? Here's what I would do for, like, a horror movie, right? I would go full Terrifier, alright? So what I would do... Oh, number of times you sign with items? Okay, that's easy. Now I just wait for it to wear off. I would go full Terrifier, right? I would have, like, a crazy mad scientist, like, trap a bunch of people in a resort. But here's the thing. At the start of it, I would make it so, like, when you start the movie, it's like, oh, terrorists take over a beachside resort. I've told this to my friends, right? But instead of it being a movie about terrorists and, like, you think that the bad guys and the big monsters are, like, terrorists or, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, Somalian pirates or something, right? Like, I might as well catch it. I would, like, have a reveal, like, halfway through the movie that's like, oh, by the way, you're, like, in a Saw death trap with, like, crazy monsters. I think that would be hilarious. And I would scare the shit out of people. I would make people want to not see my movie. If Terrifier is making dudes puke, I want to make someone die of cardiac arrest in my movie. 100%. I want them to die of, like, ridiculous shit, man. I wouldn't pick Saw because Saw is gore prawn, not terrifying. I would meet The Thing meets The Blob meets Until Dawn. Yeah, but I like that, like, trap aspect of Saw where they're, like, stuck in the place, you know what I mean? I think that's, like, one of the cool things. The original Saw, right? Like, the first 1 or 2 of them before they became absolutely outlandish and impossible to take seriously. That's what I'm talking about. Because I actually really like the Saw series. I like that the narrative and the lore is, like, really in-depth. But, like, obviously, after the first 1 or 2, it's definitely really hard to sit here with this... Oh, God, I'm gonna faint. It's definitely hard to sit here and say, like, not with a straight face, but, you know... It's hard to defend Saw after, like, Saw 2. And I understand why it is. So I'm not, like, mad about it. Thank you. I just like the series. I like these, like, long lore series, you know? That's why Resident Evil comes along and I love the lore of it, right? You play Resident Evil 5, you spend maybe half an hour reading up on the whole lore of the series. It's fucking crazy. This shit goes back to, like, the 1914s now with Resident Evil 8. It goes back to, like, literally the Spanish flu. And you're sitting over here like, oh my god, all these events were set in motion like 100 years before the first game almost. You know? It's crazy. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite parts about the whole series is that, like, it's 100 years of lore. The games take place in the span of, what, 1996? Did the first Resident Evil take place in 96 or 98? It's 98 because, yeah, it's 98. I guess it was released in 96 as like a this could happen in the near future thing. But yeah, that's why. Anyway, we're just not going to talk about the crazy luck that I just had on this game. Not one, but 2 shinies, one of which is an alpha. That's crazy. I love it. Song 1 is good, but the premise was pure punishment for being human filth. Every follower of Jigsaw did not follow it. And that's the fucking problem with it, is that there was never a pure follower of Jigsaw who was, like, trying to fight for dominance. And I think that that's the one thing that really makes me sad, is, like, I get there was, like, a whole dynamic going on between Amanda and Hoffman. But, I mean, okay, let's be real. I feel like they had outlines for how the script was gonna go, right? Because it's not like these characters come out of nowhere. But also at the same time, look at that, by the way, look at that. We just have to evolve one. I guess I'll evolve this one that I have in my bag, or I just caught. The problem is that none of them followed his teachings to the letter. So therefore, it just becomes this weird, like... It's just... Obviously, like, that's part of the plot. It just really sucks that there was never, like, I am the true disciple of Jigsaw, and I'm actually going to test people in the manner that he himself would have tested. Right? And I know that, like, Saw is, like, Sour Grapes, the franchise. I know there's that one that's, like, a commentary on American healthcare. But I still think that despite that, like, I mean, let's be fair here. Every movie is kind of a commentary of the time in which it's made, right? Even Marvel movies, as shittily as I'll fucking say that, are commentaries on the time period that they're made in, right? So, I don't know. I would definitely do something like what the Dark Pictures does, where they, like, draw upon, like, inspiration from all manners of horror films and stuff for their games. I just don't own any of their games, and I guess I should, huh? I talked with Ash about this. I was like, someday I'm going to buy all 6 of their games, because they make one game a year, and I'm going to legitimately, like, play probably all 6 of them. I'd like to do co-op with it, though. I think that would be really fun to, like, have a friend sit here, and we just are, like, scaring the shit out of each other. I don't know. It's never going to happen. Alright, so the last time this happened... Alright. Go back to the stream on March 13th. I'm sorry, May 13th. I pulled 2 Riolus out of the same event. That's the nice thing about it documenting this. I could tell you this, the exact date that it happened. Which I think also was the date that I found that shiny Eevee. I had my last chain or something. The Spiral? Oh, no, I don't know about all that. Spiral's a sequel to Jigsaw, right? Which is a sequel to Saw 8. Which is, like, once you get to, like, Saw 6, I don't really know much about the plot like that. You know, all these horror films, all these franchises, right? You get, like, beyond, like, part 3, it just becomes weird. You know, like, you know, it's really hard to follow at that point. Because, A, it's long. B, there's, like, a lot of stuff you have to go back and rewatch. And, like, you know, it's just a lot to take in. And I don't blame people for being like, well, it's trash. Because, I mean, it is kind of a little trashy, honestly. I'm the first person to tell you it's not exactly, like, amazing by any measure. What do we need to do with this thing again? It's the ammo. Did we already finish it? I'm coming for Rufflet next, by the way. See, I told you this was not going to take that long. Like, it actually gives an objective to every stream, basically. What was I doing? Where's Yanma? Why can I never find these Pokemon? Here we go. I have to use another 24 times. Alright, let's do that. Let's see if we can get another good event that then we can just run around and throw rocks at people. Which is one hell of a sentence when you think about it. I'm feeling lucky. Let's do this. Let's do Hippowdon. I don't know if the one with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson was any good. I'll be honest with you. Like, Saw has a good premise. That's why the latest Dark Pictures game kind of interested me. Because I was like, oh, whoa, 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 it's based off of Saw? I think that's cool. I know the next one is, like, based off of, like, science fiction. I kind of wish they had done space sooner. But, you know, it's cool. I think that, like, there's a lot of potential for games like that. A lot of potential for... Even back when I was playing and fucking around on Jurassic Park, right? No one remembers that Telltale Games made Jurassic Park the game, the living stinker that it was. But it was still kind of funny. And I said at the time that there's a lot of potential for them to make interactive movie games. And that's why I was bringing up, you know, old point-and-click games. Like, that's kind of what Resident Evil almost is, right? Like, it's based off of Sweet Home, which itself is based off of, what's this game called? Alone in the Dark, I think? Or no, Alone in the Dark, I think, took inspiration from it. And that's why it's really sad that Alone in the Dark never really came back. Now, they are trying to make a new one, but bear in mind that they are trying to make a new one. That does not mean that they will succeed, but I think they are trying to make something much truer to form than the 2008 remake that I totally don't own and I fucking need to buy. And I will actually put on my GameStop wish list now, because I need to fucking... What is going on here? Okay, remind me to do that later, somebody. Because I'm not going to log into GameStop on my phone right now. And I'm not going to log in on my browser either. I actually need to do that. Oh, great. I made the mistake of touching my phone. I have to delete this stupid app. It literally does nothing for me. There's a lot of, like, 360 era games I want to actually go buy. So at some point, probably this year or next year, I'm going to go sweep the shit out of, like, downtown Manhattan. I'm going to hit up all the major stores and be like, yo, I want this game. It's coming. I don't know. I just like the idea that you're, like, trapped in, like, a death game. Maybe, you know, maybe they do it a little too much in Saw, right? I wouldn't want that to be, like, the actual, like, full purpose of, like, a horror game or a horror movie. I think there's a like, Resident Evil is just perfect in that way, because it is kind of a death game. Wesker did kind of lead them there to record research data. You know, it is kind of a fucked up death game. So that's why I think Resident Evil works so well. I always thought it looked kind of cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool how they redesigned N-Word Carnby to be, like, a little bit less of a... I don't know. Like, he's supposed to be a weirdo. I don't know. Maybe it was just, like, the early 2000s, or the late 2000s, you know? Every character that looked dark and brooding was cool. That was definitely the 2000s attitude, right? From Shadow the Hedgehog to Sasuke, it's like having that dark anti-hero kind of vibe was really awesome. I don't think anyone in my generation would disagree with that wholly. But the problem is that we had enough Shadows and Sasukes that people just intentionally don't make them anymore. Right? So, like, even in anime, right? Black Clover and My Hero both swerve the whole notion of, oh, well, I'm gonna be a Sasuke-type character. Because it's, I guess it's just such a sticking point how Sasuke was received, even though I thought it was fine. I like anti-hero characters just as much as the hero characters. I think that it provides a good contextual basis. I think it's nice to juxtapose someone who does good in the goody two-shoes ways with someone who does good regardless of the consequences. Or even just indirectly, even. It's a shame that the Shadow the Hedgehog game is such a mess and such a really, like, mediocrely designed game mixed with bad gameplay and glitchiness. It's really a damn shame, because otherwise that would be my favorite kind of game to play. I feel like someone should totally steal that concept. Someone should totally steal the Shadow the Hedgehog concept and just make it some amnesiac man who's supposed to help, like, robots or something take over the world, and you could pick who you want to side with on each level. And then it, like, builds up a karma system or a point system, and at the end of the game you maybe have, like, two factions duke it out and you figure out who you want to side with. I thought that was really cool. But in the form of Black Adam. Wasn't that the name of the... What was the villain in Shadow the Hedgehog? Not Black Comet. Was it? I don't remember what it was. What the villain was. But I know you're talking about was it the Marvel hero, or not the Marvel, the DC hero. I know what you're talking about. Dude, how is it already going to be fucking Sunday? That's insanity. Wait, what am I doing again? I have no idea. I could have fought Yanma. Oh, fuck. Okay, I want to finish Yanma before the end of the night. I know we still have another hour, but I definitely want to finish Yanma before I'm done here. Oh my god, are you serious? They are serious. Are you serious? Yes, they are. Dude. What do you want from me? We're not going to get anything this time, and that'll be totally okay. That's totally fine if we don't get any shiny. If we get a third shiny, I'll be to the moon. His deal was not to side with anyone. His powers just does what he wants. Yeah, I like that. It doesn't make him evil. It just means that he might be willing to do good. He just doesn't want to work with, like, you know, the Justice League or whatever it is. I like heroes like that. I think that leads to, like, very interesting characters, in my opinion, right? Like, I think that having people that do that kind of... I don't know. I'm not even, like, a brooding, like, 2000s, like, Linkin Park, straightened black hair, you know, like, goth, emo. I'm none of that. I just think it's a very cool vibe and aesthetic to have. I love it so fucking much. Please inject it directly into my veins as often as possible. That is, like, the pure 2000s essence, you know? I love it. That's why Resident Evil 4 is such a 2000s game. People used to wear those leather jackets, and now nobody touches them anymore. That was such a style for, like, a little bit, and then it's gone. Which makes it extra funny that in separate ways you can see that one of the Ganados has Leon's jacket. I forget where you see it, though. It's in Ada's campaign, I know. But again, I need to play separate ways. I said I would play it in January. It's now December. And the remake comes out in March. And honestly, like, I could play it. It'll only take me, like, a couple hours. Separate ways isn't that long. But I need to, My goal for the end of tonight is to finish moving these damn hard drives, basically. Is to set up all the 3 that I plan to use, and then remove the rest, and then not think about it. So that's my goal for tonight. Yeah, I'll just get around to that at some point. Because I have these 18 terabytes, and they're just out on the floor behind me. And I'm like, I don't want to even move my chair, because if I roll over these cables, there's no way I'm getting another one. So I got to be careful with it. At the island? No, I thought it was in the village, right? Because they kidnap him and they take his jacket in the village. I'm pretty sure it's in the village somewhere. It's in one of Ada's early chapters. I think it's in chapter 2, right? Because it's after he gets captured and you have to rescue him. How many chapters does Separate Ways even have? 5, right? I think it's 2 in the village, 2 in the castle, and then 1 in the island, thankfully, because the island is the weakest part of Resident Evil 4. And that's my one complaint about Shinji Mikami horror games, is that you'll play them and they're really good games, and then, like, the end of it, you're, like, taking on a fucking army. And I'm like, why are we doing this? This is not horror anymore, it's action. And I think that I felt the same way about Evil Within. Is like, Evil Within starts incredibly scary, and then, like, by the end of the game, you're in a city with people shooting guns at you. It's like, what horror is there in that? There's not really horror. By the way, is 6 Days in Fallujah ever coming out? Or have they successfully banned that game into oblivion? Because I haven't heard anything about it, like, in the last several months. It's not a horror game. I just thought about, like, December releases, and I was like, damn, that game was supposed to be out this year, and it's still not out. Yeah, the island is definitely the weakest part. The regenerators are a good idea, and it feels like if the island focused more on, like, dodging regenerators and actually, like, doing shit, then maybe I would have enjoyed it more. But as it stands, I'm not, like, a fan of, like, any of the end chapters of, like, a Resident Evil game. Now, admittedly, like, for Resident Evil 5, I struggle to think of a time that would have been better to, like, you know, finish off the story than, like... I think Resident Evil 5 has a very good conclusion, right? But it is... let's stun this. There we go. We'll stun it. We'll get it twice as fast. Okay, he somehow still got to fire that. So they can fire, they prep moves immediately that fire right away. Okay. What do we need to do? Times you've seen it use Mud Bomb. We need to defeat 20 with ice moves and defeat 40. Oh, good lord. It's fucking Gligar, dude. They act like it's Gliscor. It's Gligar. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of games I wish that went somewhere. Like, I'm glad Darksiders 3 got made. It's just a shame that Darksiders 3... Man, I really just wish we could get Platinum to make, like, everything, honestly. I really wish Platinum could just make, like, the fighting engine for everything. Like, I'm playing through Bayonetta 3. I actually played 4 hours of it today, almost. It's not a bad game at all. I think that gameplay-wise it's fine. I just don't really think it's a very Bayonetta game. But, like, Platinum can clearly make these games. I just wish more studios would make them. Like, that's what made Nier Automata so fun for me. That's what makes Bayonetta so fun. It's because they're goated. They know how to make a game. And that's what I think makes their games so fun, is because it's like playing games that you know have that loving touch on them. But like I said, like, Bayonetta 1 definitely was the one that had the most uniqueness to it. I think 2 is a good middle ground, perhaps. If you want a shitty story, let Platinum do it. But that's the thing. I don't think Bayonetta is a shitty story. That said, I don't know if they made Bayonetta, though, in fairness. We just have to use a Gibble, okay. I don't know if they wrote the story. I think Hideki Kamiya oversaw it, but I don't think he wrote it. And Yoko Taro wrote Nier's story, so... I mean, I don't know what games Platinum has done the story for, but... the games I've played from them usually are pretty damn good. Alright. It's fine that nothing spawned. We already pulled 2, including a shiny alpha, right? I think the odds of a shiny... What are the odds of getting an alpha out of an event? I don't know. Maybe it's like 5%, right? So we're already rolling... I mean, they're rolled side by side, right? It's not like they're rolled sequentially or something. Does it matter, really? What's a better area to throw rocks at people? I guess this area, right? Yeah. Because I'm looking at my library on Steam. I wish they would port Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 Classic. But they definitely won't do that. I'm just really disappointed with the Resident Evil 3 remake. I think that, to me, is like one of the biggest letdowns. That wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't good. Like, as a game, it's fine, right? It's just knowing what Resident Evil 3 was 20 years ago and playing it, you know, roughly like 8 or so years after it came out. Like, back then, I could play games that looked like they were made on the N64, no problem, right? Like, I think that's the beauty of, I don't want to say my generation, but, like, when I came around and was playing games, like, you could still play Dreamcast games, and it's fine, you know? Like, Sonic Adventure was a Dreamcast game. And as a kid, I was like, dude, this game is fucking dope. I loved it. I really had such a good childhood on the GameCube. Like, actually. Makes me sad that it's over for good. I can never go back and play these games the same. Look at this pop-in, by the way. It only renders a circle around you. It's worse on Scarlet Violet. That's the sad part. But yeah, like, I can never go back and replay those games for the first time again. You know, just experiencing all the stuff. Which is why it's fun every so often to just replay an old game, you know? So, like, for me, replaying Sonic Adventure, like, 1, definitely something I would do often. And the reason why is because I could just replay Sonic's story. You basically play almost every level in the game anyway. I think the only one you don't play is Hot Shelter and Sand Rush. One of which is a short mini game. I mean, to be fair, the levels in Sonic Adventure ain't that long. Yeah, like, replay Sonic's story. Sonic Adventure 2 is a little bit different, because I feel like the experience is playing all the levels back-to-back. I still love the Knuckles and Rouge levels. I think those are definitely the best, because I like that they're freeform. The only one I don't like is the ones in space, because going up... I think Rouge has some of the hardest levels in that game, for sure. Because, like, with Rouge, you have to find... what is it? The stupid level where you have to find the emerald shards inside the gun vault before the island blows up. And Eggman's like, oh, I'll give you 15 minutes to find them and get out. She's like, no, I only need 5. Like, hold up. Whatever. That shit was crazy. You just don't have that anymore. It's really sad. It's sad we never got Sonic Adventure 3 in the same vein, you know? Like, Sonic Heroes kinda is Sonic Adventure 3, but it's not, right? Like, there's too much team play. I think having 3 hero teams could have been good if they were, like, fully fleshed out hero teams with, like, maybe, I don't know, like, a good amount of levels each, you know? So, like, I'm trying to think. Like, what's a good example? Like, I don't know. You know, you have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. You have Omega and Shadow are kind of like allies in a sense. So, like, you have Team Dark, and then you just have a third team. And that's why when I played Sonic 06, I was like, dude, what the fuck happened to this game? I couldn't believe what I was playing. I'm like, how do you make a better game 10 years ago on the Dreamcast, almost? Or I guess at that point it would have been, what, like 8 years prior. I don't know. I'm like, how the fuck did you guys make a better game on worse hardware? Significantly worse hardware. You can't hit this. What a tragedy. Alright, now they'll actually run, which is fine. Do these things flee? I think they do. Yeah, I think if you try to fight a Pokemon that's actively set to flee, it keeps its guard up and it tries to roll. Yep, it rolls for a chance to run. Now, luckily, it doesn't matter to me because I'm just trying to use Ancient Power 40 times. I'm just glad that there's like a whole bunch of horror games coming out. I think that that's really cool. It's like a new age, like, renaissance for horror a little bit. Which is kind of, I think the last time that happened, it was like a little bit like 20 years ago, right? Like, when was the last time we had a bunch of horror games come out? I guess the 360 era, where they had like all the horror games like kind of come out in, like, you know, next gen and all that stuff. And then the best we got was like Homecoming and Dead Space. And even then, Homecoming has a really, like, I don't know. See, Homecoming is only good if you get the good ending or the joke ending. Any of the other 3 endings are kind of bad. And it's such a 2008 game because, like, literally the check for what ending you get is not determined by, like, actual gameplay like Silent Hill 2. It's determined by, like, 3 choices you make. That's why it's a very silly game. It's a very silly game that you shouldn't take very seriously, sadly. With a very clunky dodge system. That's why when I did the playthrough on it, I was using the alien pistol. I was like, fuck it, I don't really care. I'm just playing this game to play through it. It was also for me to get the final trophy, so I was cool with that. I was like, yeah, I'll just get the final achievement, call it a day. That's it? Oh, no, here we go. I was going to say, like, they blend in too well. But I've never seen anyone actively hunt for shiny Shellos. I mean, like with any Pokemon, I'm sure it's someone's favorite somewhere. It's just not mine. It's just crazy how much gameplay and design went into games that are like 20 years old that we still don't even do today, you know? I think that's what's kind of like, I don't want to say startling. I don't even want to say it's telling. I just think it's very unfortunate that more games don't do older stuff like that. Like in Silent Hill 2, checking the letter over and over changes the ending and stuff like that. What's that? I thought I saw something out there. Okay. I can't wait for there to be a secret in this game that no one has found, and then like 5 years from now someone finds it. Like zombies or something. Because apparently there's tons of secrets and Easter eggs and zombies no one ever found or something. Which I find a little hard to believe. Especially at this point, we have to use it 10 more times. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like people data mine PC games so hard to the point that you already know what's in it before you even actually play the game, right? Like, Pokemon might be one of the few, like, different things about it, right? Like, people will data mine the shit out of Pokemon to the point that, like, they know everything in a Pokemon game before it's even out. And then people will cope and say that it won't actually perform. Like, do people still really fall for the day one patch meme? Because I feel like they do. Like, it's so rare that a game gets a day one patch that actually, like, fixes the problems you have pre-day one now. I just think it's a real, like, copium excuse, like, oh, well, you don't know because the game's not officially out yet. And then it comes out and they fix and change nothing. I feel like that's not even a Game Freak exclusive thing. That's just, like, something people say a lot. And, I mean, in fairness, it's possible, right? It's possible, it just never happens. Oh, that was an alpha, but I don't need another one. Man, doing 100 Magikarp splashes might actually, like, not be worth it. It might not be worth it. We'll go watch Keith's video on Scarlet Violet. It's excellent on the nose. Did they make a Digital Foundry video about Scarlet Violet? I think they did, right? I don't know who Keith is, but I do know that I think Digital Foundry made a video for it. And I think they directly compared it to this game. And, like, as you see, this game performs fine. Like, you know, obviously there's the pop-in ring that you could see, right? But, like, other than that, like, this game performs fine. Like, the performance of this game is not really in question, except for moments of very, very brief... What is this, Pichu? Very brief slowdown, right? But that's been in every Pokemon game for the last decade, basically. But yeah, like I said, like, I'm not going to pretend like this game suddenly became God tier. It just... It's contextualization, right? It's like, if this is the worst game so far, then when a new game comes out that's worse, like, this game suddenly starts to look a little better, right? Because it's like, well, what we had before might have been bad, but it wasn't what we have now bad. He makes parody videos like Caleb City. Oh, I did the thing again, by the way. Caleb City. Oh, man. I feel like I watched some of these people years ago, and I did, like, when I would say watch someone on YouTube, like, I watched a couple of their videos, and then, like, I don't know. I've never really followed a lot of people on YouTube. Okay. We don't really have a great selection of Pokemon this time, sadly. I don't know. Once I started making content for YouTube, I kind of stopped watching people. Which is a shame, because I'm sure there's days worth of good content that I'm just missing out on, basically. Either because, like, someone will play a game that I want to play, and it's like, well, I don't want to be spoiled on a game I plan to play, you know? Like, what would be the point of that? I don't want to really make a ton of playthroughs where I reference someone else's playthrough. That's not like a bad thing necessarily, but it's also, I don't want it to be like required reading to watch my video. You kind of have to go watch someone else's. I guess it would be required watching. I don't know. I kind of clocked out of that side of YouTube in 2011, which is also kind of coincidentally when I clocked out from like most TV and most programs in general. Like, if it's not anime, it's probably likely I do not watch it, as a general rule of thumb. Because even anime I don't watch anymore like I used to. That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. 3 of these dudes just chilling. Like, one of the few TV shows I watched over the last, like, decade or so was, Mr. Robot. I thought that was an amazing TV show. That's why when they're like, Rami Malek is in Until Dawn, I'm like, yo, word? That's the boy right there. That's the cool dude. That's literally Mr. Robot. I have no food in my thing. Okay, so what I should do... I need to go get a bunch of food, come here and feed these guys. So that, like, that, it'll just save me time. So let me go look at the other ones real quick. I'm sorry, is this Silcoon? Yes, okay. That'd be a good one to come back and farm some easy ancient power victories off of. Oh my god, are you for real? I know each node has a chance of being picked and then a roll for what's in that node, but damn. Hi, I want to offer a promotion of your chance. No, the answer's no. And that's a bot. I mean, maybe you're not a bot. The answer's no. Dude, if I get another shiny Monferno, I'm gonna lose my shit. Unbelievable. I'm still getting shiny fucking Monfernos, dude. Alright, there you go. Alright, that's all I care about. Alright, let's go feed, the Munchlaxes. What? Oh, come on. Oh my god. Let's, what is it? What do they eat? I think they eat anything. Why am I even asking such a stupid question? Of course they eat anything. It's Munchlax. That's like what they're known for. What do you think? We need, what, 19? Nobody eats castor ferns, I don't think. Whatever. Let's take 30. Okay, no, here's what I'll do. I take 15 and 15. Why did I do this? No, continue. Actually, I have to fly out there no matter what I do. Okay. This way. That's what I'm talking about, man. The free shine. And if your Pokemon's in this game and repeatable, it's free shinies, dude. It's open season. It's just a shame you cannot shiny hunt like Riolu and BDSP, but I mean, I guess it works out because this game is just faster. Like, if you really want to shiny hunt a specific Pokemon in this game, you basically just reset until you either get a massive mass that will potentially contain it, or a mass outbreak that does have it, because not every Pokemon has a mass outbreak, and vice versa. I didn't make the game like this. I merely play it. Come on, wake up. Go get it. It really is first come, first serve, homies. Yeah, we really be doing this. Now, luckily, Munchlax never lets food go to waste. They are on top of it as soon as it drops, as you can see. I guess the optimal thing to do is to feed 3 at a time, right? I don't know if I could do this, right? Does he retarget? No. I think I kind of wasted that one. Oh, no. Yeah, I did. See, you can only feed 3 Pokemon at a time, basically. Even if it's right at their feet, it takes them a second. What? Because Munchlax, I think, is one of the few shinies I don't have. Munchlax and Snorlax. It's like Munchlax, Snorlax, Honchkrow, and Murkrow are just like 2 shinies, or 2 families of shinies I just don't have. Oops. No, I scared them. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I scared that guy. That's fine. Thank you. Don't be spooked. It was a mistake. I don't even want to catch any of you fuckers. Yeah, the rainstorm is going to end, so it doesn't matter. Now, this is peak Pokemon right here. I don't know about you guys. All those days I used to spend, like, learning how to do different, like, methods for breeding and passing moves down and all that other stuff. This is peak Pokemon right here. We just throw food, and that's it. We get free credit for a dex. Free extra shiny rolls. I mean, at least you get something out of it, right? At the minimum, even if I want to be the biggest dick about it, right? at the bare minimum, we just have to use rest 15 times. That's going to be kind of okay because rest doesn't put you to sleep in this game. At the bare minimum, I have to at least say, like, you get something reasonable out of all this, you know? It's not like you're just doing it just to fill up a checklist. Alright, here we go. Credit against Graveler. Wonder how many I have to defeat with that. Anyway. Where's Graveler? Why can I never find these Pokemon when I want to find them? Seriously? There it is. Alright, we just have to use roll. Okay, see how next week it's going to be like, I guess Chimchar. I guess we don't need to do Chimchar. We have like 6 fucking Monfernos and what? Oh my god, it's ridiculous. It's actually getting absurd. I kind of need to keep a checklist of all the Pokemon I do or don't have. Alright, let's go grab this package. What? Let's go grab this package. We'll see if the bugs are still there, if we could get some free ancient powers off of them. The answer's probably no, but whatever. I like how those 3 Paris are like super nice, and then you find Paris in the overworld and it's a murder machine. It never leaves you alone. And it has really good vision too. I'm like, don't you have like a fungus to get like absorbed by? Like, what the fuck? Let's see if they're still there. Usually it keeps the last 4 Pokemon that spawn, but it might not because I teleported away. So I might have unloaded them. Yeah, see? So because I unloaded them, they despawn. That's something I did not know that happens. Okay. I used to think that they would stick around, but I guess not. Okay. Alright. Give me a few minutes real quick. I'll run to the bathroom and then I'll continue. Let me do this. I don't have the stupid BRB thing on here, do I? There we go. Yes, perfect. Okay. Wait, why I put it there? No, okay, there we go. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, my bad. I hate to leave my stream unattended like that. I had to really run and use the bathroom, and my stomach's hurting me. So, let me take a deep breath. Man, this chair is nice, even though it's broken as shit. If you're not trying to sit upright, this is a really nice chair. Alright. What time is it now? We have like 30 minutes. I mean, realistically, I could go as late as I want. If I wanted to do a 24-hour stream, I absolutely still can. Let me get rid of the BRB since I'm actually back. Actually, hold on. Let me stretch it. Because I think it was designed to stretch to a bigger screen, maybe? There we go. See how that's so much better than what I had it on before? It's actually kind of weird I don't have it on this. I still have the spin the wheel thing on here, but I don't think I'm ever going to get to use that again. Which is kind of tragic, but what can you do, right? Alright. Anyway. Have we been to Cobalt? No, we've been to every area today. No, we haven't been to Coronet. That's where we haven't been to yet. Rhyhorn. Okay, is there anything we need to do for Rhyhorn? I guess we'll see when we get there. It's probably in the middle of the area. I forget what I was talking about on the way out. But what I was going to say is yeah, those early 2000 or those late 2000s horror games were not great, but I feel like there was a certain soul to them. It's a little bit hard to say and define it as such, right? But I think that there was definitely a good amount of care and... Wait, I got all of them on me? Oh no, what is it? Yeah, it's the sticky globs. These are the ones I need to make more of. There you go. I more or less replenished, I think, most of the ones I used today. It's funny, it's balls of mud that I need to collect. Where do you even collect balls of mud from? I'm in the perfect area to grab a bunch of mud, too. Oh, wait, hold on. Have we finished Yanma? Nope, 10 more. So, honestly, couldn't we just go fight some Paris or something? Let's fight some Paris. It'll be super fast. And then that way we can finish this off. Because I want to be done with this Pokemon today. So, like, yeah, I do want to get rid of it. This is probably the fastest thing to do. I like how it still has all the same designs on it and shit. I always thought that was cool. It's, like, actually supposed to be, like, fossils and shit. That's another thing I feel like they really did, like, a poor job of. Is, like, I liked how the fossils worked in the old games. Like, maybe not so much that you had to trade fossil Pokemon to get them. But, you know, just... It's kind of funny, because even in Gen 1, you could pick which fossil Pokemon you wanted to get or use. Okay, so that Raichu always spawns. Did I mark that as such? No. Yet somehow I have two... I don't think that there's two things up here. I'm going to mark this over here. And yes, I'm aware that, like, most of these, like, markings I made have not changed in multiple months, if not almost a year, but still worth it. Even if 20 is kind of low. To be fair, if they raised it to 30, I think it would be perfect. Okay. Let's go over here. We'll look at Rhyhorn, I guess. I'll grab this little bag as well. At some point, I do have to do Goomy. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do this. We'll try to clean up our last, like, 8 or so ancient power usages. Then I think I'll stop. I think I'm going to go, like, I don't want to say lay down, but I'll just, you know, relax. Try to rest my stomach. I don't even know what it was I ate. It kind of set me off, but whatever. Okay, I don't need to teleport. What I do need to do is I need to see, what do I need to do to get Rhyhorn? Oh, forget it. I have to catch 18 Rhyhorns. Number you defeat with grass type moves. Bro, I don't even know if I want to do a Rhyhorn event. I don't even run grass types. Yeah, not on this team. It's a shame, too, because I used to actually use grass-type Pokemon, and now I don't really use them at all. That was something I used to do when I was younger. I used to use grass types and stuff, and now I just am like, eh. There's good grass types I like, just they're either not in this game, or I don't know, I feel like I just don't really use them that much. Might as well at least look. I mean, we also could just go through it, right? Thy girl? What? Oh my god. I kind of want to pick that up. Thy girl. Yeah, if you found thy girl's satchel. What? Did someone really do that just to make a meme? Maybe. Okay, I don't know how much I care about this. Let's leave. Or, yeah, let's run around Obsidian a little bit, unless a better event spawns, and then after that, I think we will probably call it quits for today. I promise I won't, I'll try not to eat like shit on stream days, which is really trying to be every day, right? Because at the minimum, if I stream every day, my channel's live, more opportunity for people to come in. We could actually hopefully hit 150 by the end of next year. 150 followers. That would be kind of dope. I'd like that. That's like my new goal ever since we hit 100. I forget when I said I wanted to hit 100 followers, but we're like almost at 120. So I want to try to keep that momentum going by continuously streaming more and more and more. So you're probably going to see more streams in that vein. More games, obviously. I swear I'm almost at the cusp of getting like everything under control. I say this like I sound like an addict. It's really about my sleep. My sleep and... Wait, Chimchar spawns out here? Do other starter Pokemon have a chance to spawn in the middle of nowhere like this? I don't think they do. I think Chimchar might be unique in that regard. I don't think most starter Pokemon can spawn out here like that. I think that's unique to Chimchar. Right? Because Turtwig only spawns in that one area, right? Piplup only spawns by that pond. I think that's unique because maybe of that side quest that we had ages ago. I think that's why it's like that. Because we had a side quest for it. Oh, we have not defeated any Weasels, so that's perfect. You see that tree? I saw that. Alright, we'll do this event. We'll catch these, like, we'll do these 4 final ancient powers. We'll do the event, and then that'll be it. I know I'm kind of ending a little early, but somehow it doesn't even feel like we've been live for 2 hours and 36 minutes. That's crazy. It was a good time today. I really like that. I gotta talk more about game series I like, because when I do, I feel like it sets the mood better, you know? It's way more fun to talk about Resident Evil and shit, because that's a series I'm very, very into. It's like Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed, I would say Pokemon, but not of late, obviously. What else? I'm trying to think. What else? Star Wars was another one, although to be fair, like once I kind of fell off of Star Wars when I got older a little bit. Like, hilariously enough, when I was like watching the Clone Wars on Cartoon Network, I was like, wow, this is a show made for 5-year-olds. And then it just became this like epic narrative that's like so fucking awesome. And I'm like, when was this gonna like happen in the first 2 seasons? It's crazy. And then playing Fallen Order, it's so obvious that whoever wrote for Fallen Order was watching the Clone Wars, or at least got heavy notes from someone who did watch the Clone Wars. It's so awesome. That's it, man. Like, that's all I want from people to write when they write stories like that, you know? Some dude probably watched a couple seasons of Clone Wars and was like, you know what would be really cool if we, like, referenced a shit ton of it, right? I love that. I think that's one of my favorite, like, strong spots about Fallen Order. That's why I look back on that playthrough so fondly. I was actually talking with Gundam Otaku. I'm like, dude, part of what made that playthrough so memorable for me was like we were there, you know, shooting the shit, you know, making jokes, talking about the lore. That's what made it fun for me, even if I don't really like a lot of it now. I think that's what makes a lot of things more enjoyable. So you can springball it off of people, you know? Springball. It's a weird way of saying it. Alright, I should save actually, so let me see if I could leave. Just in case a shiny shows up, I want to be able to, you know, I don't want to run right away. I miss 2 or 3 sticky globs, and then it escapes, and then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I have to reload and lose all my progress. That's, like, definitely the worst thing that could happen. I cannot believe we got 2 shinies in a row. 7 months apart, but I mean, 7 months apart is still better than never. Even with the increased odds, that's not likely. You have to draw 1 in 100 and some back-to-back. Or at least twice in the same grouping, I guess. Doesn't have to be back-to-back. Ain't that intense. I doubt we're gonna get any of this. Yo, is Galarian Ponyta in fucking Scarlet Violet? Is Ponyta in it? It's a real question, because I guess I'm never gonna get to really use Galarian Ponyta the way I want to anymore. It's a damn shame, too. Alright, and then after this, what I'll do is I'll set up next week's stream. Usual time, usual place. I'll look through the Pokedex after I'm done with the stream for today. And then that way I'll be able to tell, like, what Pokemon do I want to hunt for next week. Right? Because, like, tentatively, it's like Geodude, Ponyta, Ghastly. Alright, that's it. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I would normally continue, but like I said, I'm not feeling too good, so I think we'll just call it for that, right? It's all good. Nothing too crazy or hectic. And, I do need to do a BDSP stream. Maybe I will play BDSP once I'm done, because I haven't played Brilliant Diamond in a few weeks. So maybe I'll do that. And then next week we'll do a bunch of moves. We're basically gonna have to do a bunch of moves, right? Which means a lot of Obsidian Plane running around. So, let me check really quickly. Anything good? Bonsly. I mean, we could look at that next week. That's fine. Alright, so, yep, no problem, Ash. Anytime. Tomorrow is Final Fantasy, so if you want to join me for that, you're more than welcome. What was I going to do on this game before leaving? Oh, let me put, oh, Gibble's another one, by the way. So let me I almost should update the Pokemon that I have around, right? Yeah, so we'll do Riolu next. That'll be the next Pokemon that we use. Right, because we've already used Turtwig, and we've already used Yanma. Drifloon is another one, right? Shinx is another one. You go in the special box, which is filling up very quickly again. What else? What else? We did Piplup. I guess Rowlet. We just have to use a bunch of moves for Rowlet, though. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you see how that's not, like, as much of a hunt? Right, what did I say? Geodude? I think. Ponyta was another one. Do I have an Alpha Ponyta? Maybe I do. I have no idea. Ponyta. I hate that it cancels it if you do that. Whoops. Alpha? Yeah, level 38's good. Okay, we could work with that. So I'll put that in here. And that's going to be it. All right, perfect. So this is what we'll do next week, and then we'll figure out what to do with these two, if I'm going to release them or not. So yeah, thank you everybody for showing up. Raiden, it was a blast having an awesome conversation. Thank you for the follow, MGIS2078. And as always, Ash, thank you for showing up. I will see you guys. Whoops, I forgot to enable that. Oh, I froze OBS. I did it. Dude, I always do this. It's hilarious. Actually, I can't. I won't. Okay, I won't shut the game down, but I'll be right back after I'm done with this. But yeah, next week we'll do more of the same. We won't play it again on Thursday. We'll play something else on Thursday. And we're making good progress. I think we have, what, maybe like 10 Pokemon fully Dex Mastered. And even today, we found 2 Pokemon who we had Dex Mastered. So instead of rolling the 1 in 819, we're rolling 1 in 537, I believe. Which is really good. So anyway, peace.